Malik's great in the first half. Second half, he knows his role. He passed up every three. Minnesota wasn't even guarding him at the three-point line because they're like, you're not going to shoot it.
David.
MSU, B-ball is ready for new blood. Izzo is the GOAT, but it's time for change. That is Ian in Clarkston.
That's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stale product. You can get offended if you like. It is.
Well, Mitch in the car says, I just spit my energy drink out while driving at how Matty Sissoko needs to look up Kalamazoo.
It's the truth. He's not a Big Ten player. Go play in the MAC. Put up 10 and 10, go get a degree. Get 3 degrees. I don't care what you do. Get out of my life. Matty Sissoko did the unthinkable as a big man. He traveled twice on a post-up. How?
And didn't realize he did it. That was the thing. Like, you didn't even make a move. First, you just took 3 steps.
That's right. Yeah. David.
Mateus in Grand Rapids says, I give Izzo 1 or 2 more seasons. He has to go get some transfers this offseason. If nothing improves, then it's time to move on.
How about getting new assistants? Anybody want to talk about that? Enough of the country club? How about we get some real assistants in here who have job prospects?
Mike in Chicago says, last night was my breaking point. There's always an excuse, but the facts are this has been a mediocre program since Cash left.
That's right.
Turning off until this program shows me they can take this seriously.
And it's funny because when it's almost like the Lions free, because I tell people all the time, I tell this man, David, don't watch this game. Nah, don't watch it. It's just going to tick you off. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version.
Can't get enough.
I'll watch it because I already know my expectations are low. It'll be hard to disappoint me because they're not high. If you can finish the game and not get injured, fine.
Yeah, but if your program has gotten to that, then that is pathetic.
So it's next year and that's it for you, right?
Yeah, this offseason, you got to go out and get some.
If next year's another 12-loss season, no meaningful run, no competing for the Big Ten, and the product isn't even remotely enjoyable to watch.
70 is a good number, good round number.
Call it a day. All right, so you got 1 year left. I'm all out of flowers. I've had it. Let's go to the people. We'll go to Mark, 97.1. Mark, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Mike. Usually calling to you about the Lions, but I'm in my first year of a JD MBA program here at Michigan State, and when I came here, I felt like I was buying a blue chip stock at like its lowest price. You know, the university's dealt with a lot. And I walk into Mel Tucker, can't stop blasting his carrot. My board is putting our accreditation in jeopardy. You know, and then I was like, oh, wait, the basketball team's going to be really good.
Oops.
And, like, I didn't even park the car. I pulled up to check out. I left my friend in it. I was like, I'm going to go see this place is legit. And I can't even invest into this. It's hard to be prideful right now. I mean, I see a good old-school coach that just has a mentality that isn't sustainable in today's age of basketball. So to answer your question, I mean, I'm out, and I never even parked the car.
Yeah. No, Mark, listen, and I don't get people's reaction that if you criticize a legend, you're a bad fan. No, you're someone who calls it for what it is. This is a terrible product. This is a 500 team in the Big Ten over a 4-year span. That's awful.
It's mediocrity, honestly. I'm excited for what Jonathan Smith can do with football. I believe in what he's building, what he's bringing. But, like, I need more from the athletic component of this university. But I appreciate the call, man.
Yeah.
Or taking my call. Thank
Mark, you got it, brother.
Yeah.
And that's –
well, the funny thing is you talk about the staff, and I do think that you may need to go outside the family and bring in that person who has nothing to do with MSU, who will question, well, why are we doing it this way? Well, we always done it this way. But, okay, but why are we doing it this way?
We're in a different place, but we're in the same place. Here's what I mean. While Michigan is substantially worse than Michigan State, my recommendation to both schools would be the same. You need to get as far away from your footprint as possible. The Michigan man thing or this whole Lord Izzo tapping his – I don't want to hear any of it.
Oh, you're talking Michigan football?
No.
Oh, Michigan.
Basketball.
Yeah, well, see, I think Phil Martelli was that guy where all of a sudden it was, hey, guys, I got a better way of doing this. And every time he coaches – if I'm a Michigan fan, I would feel good because this man knows basketball. Now, the only problem is his age is going to probably hold him back. But I think that Tom needs that voice that has nothing to do with Mateen or any J-Day or any of the old players, and he's going to bring a fresh pair of eyes and not always just, well, this is how we've always done it. This is how we did it under Judd. Just somebody new. So I'm with you on that.
Clean it all out. I've had enough. We'll get more of your phone calls. In fact, I'm going to Colin right now. Colin, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Thanks for taking the call.
Yeah, Colin, what's up?
So, as far as like Michigan State is concerned, I'm pretty much out of juice when it comes to Izzo. If you look at like the last 4 or 5 years, we've had like every single year in January and February, the announcers on the broadcast are saying like, "Hey, do you think Michigan State is going to make the tournament this year? They're a bubble team. They're right on the brink." And it's like,
Right.
I just feel like what is Izzo? The next 2 years we're going to be like an 11-10 seed, like maybe a play-in. I just feel like we're running out of juice. He hasn't been able to utilize the portal. We're a blue blood, right? But we can't attract anybody in the portal. I just feel like things have kind of dried up there.
Oh, it's not that you can't attract anyone. The coach openly decided he wasn't going to use it. Some weird point of pride. Even though 2 of the best players on the team, he got out of the portal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, he wants to do it the old school way, right? But he's always saying like, oh, he hates analytics and he doesn't care about what the numbers say. And I just feel like, okay, well, it clearly hasn't worked over the last number of years. And you look at all these other teams that utilize the portal, and it's just like, okay, well, how come teams like Kansas and these other teams, UNC, like they continue to be good, but then it's like Michigan State is just going farther and farther backwards.
No, because they have a better operation. Look, Tom, here's what people don't want to hear, Colin. I don't really care. This is my view of it.
You want to give it to us next?
F it, sure. Ideal you, Goulet, John Jansen Weight Loss Club, lose 20 pounds in 30 days. Whether the resolution is 10 or 100, they'll help you out like Rico just helped me. Make sure we didn't blast through a break. Jansen lost 10 pounds the first 10 days, 63 overall. They want to get you on the same pathway to success. You go to idealu.us right now. Get the free body composition analysis. It's $150 value, free. They'll teach you the same things they taught John and help you on your road to success. 20 pounds in 30 days. It's possible with idealu.us. That's idealu.us. So we're asking the question, because I don't play favorites. How much juice is left in the parking meter as it relates to you as a fan with Tom Izzo and Michigan State basketball? This is another lost season, another year being completely irrelevant, and I think Tom Izzo's fully to blame for it. Oh, he's a legend. You can't say that. Well, try me. Yes, you can. And this was the point I was going to make before Rico did the responsible thing and made sure we were timely. Now, more than ever, college basketball coaches are the entire basketball operation. They're the GM, they're the agent, they're everything. The people you hire and delegate to are your responsibility. The players you do and don't recruit are your responsibility. How you do or don't turn your roster over on a year-to-year basis is your responsibility. And then the execution of using the portal is not a choice. It is a matter of how good you are at it. If you don't use it, you should be fired. Well, Tom chose not to use it. It was asinine. Again, his big men rotation is a dairy farmer, a dude with no functioning hands, a guy who is allegedly good but isn't, and then a dude redshirting. That's what we have. Okay, I watched Fred Hoiberg go find Rink Mast.
By the way, the dude redshirting is a wing. He's not a big man.
Oh, super. There you go. Even worse. So here we arrive. No, Tom can be blamed because unlike years ago where you would recruit, develop, you would make mistakes in recruiting. It would happen. Guys wouldn't develop. All of that's been taken out of this. Oh, I didn't like the year you had last year. Get out. Get out. Mm-hmm. So,
and I think some of that is going to be one of the reasons why he leaves, because Tom is a big loyalty guy.
And that's fine.
And I think that could end up being to his detriment because he's loyal too much. And instead of just saying, I got to do what's best, it's, well, this is a good kid.
Well, enjoy the beach house.
And I'm going to give him another chance.
Right, and I'm not here for it. I do view MSU basketball as a top 10 program. I do view it as a blue blood. Yeah. And because of Tom
for the
Izzo,
record, before he broke his foot, he was good, Mike.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
And he actually thought, like, well, I got Kohler coming in, and then he broke his foot, and it was like, oh, dear God, I don't have a backup.
So that's why I don't understand if people say, well, you can't blame him. He didn't miss the free throws. Malik Hall shouldn't be here. I don't care how tough you are off the court. And obviously Malik's got a family situation that requires immense toughness and emotional drain. But last I checked, you guys wanted to get paid. Welcome to being a pro. Rico's got stuff. David's got stuff. Kenny's got stuff. You listening have stuff. Guess who doesn't care? Your employer. You are an employee of the school. You want that money? You want to drive that car? Play. And it ain't good enough. Guys like Malik Hall or A.J. Hoggard, or much less Cooper, Sissoko, they never should have been welcomed back. And at a real place, they wouldn't have been. Bill Self might be a morally bankrupt scumbag, but Bill Self, he don't play. Gator don't play.
Well, like I said, they haven't had a big man since Xavier Tillman, who just got traded to your Celtics.
Super fertile. What? We got X?
Yep.
For real?
Yep. For 2 second-round picks.
Oh, dude, I don't like that move. I love it. That's phenomenal. For a team chasing a championship?
You got X.
You got to trade second-round picks. That's what I heard you do in the league now.
Yeah, well, the difference is if the Celtics don't have a second-rounder through 27, they don't care. They're trying to get the Larry O'Brien. The Pistons not having a second-round pick till 2027 is another conversation.
Guess I have to go see some Boston Celtics games when they come down here.
Better call the daycare centers. X is coming to town.
He's done having kids.
So was Cromartie until he blew through that stop sign.
Then came twins.
Xavier Tillman's a force of nature. I'm pumped, man. The C's got X. All right.
See,
party.
Here's some good news for you.
There you go. Go to Kevin, 97.1. Kev, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
Well, Mike, in particular, I'm a little upset with you today, and I'm going to tell you why. Alan Anderson is somebody I tried to get out of my mind for a decade or more, and you just brought him right back in where he doesn't belong.
I'm sorry. The free throws against Iowa, crying in Paul Davis's lap.
Stop.
Kevin,
Stop.
think Alan Anderson the day he went a perfect, 10 for 10 shooting.
Do you guys want to just pour turpentine into my open wounds?
We'll keep going. Kevin, you keep it moving down the road. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Scheme-wise, I'm so tired of the high pick and roll. 30 feet from the basket with Sissoko and Cooper. Neither one of them warrant being covered ever. They can't hit a three. They can't drive the basket, and certainly they couldn't ever receive a ball thrown to them in the air to catch it and dunk it if that was even an option. So that gets doubled every time, and we just waste precious minutes on the shot clock every time they do that. It reminds me of like D'Antonio where they did that little flip shovel pass, remember, early on, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, that was a great play. And then you saw it like 3 years later, and you're like, please don't ever run that again.
Please stop.
And then, and then Izzo, there's these guys that just say, you know what, I want a championship this way, and here's the recipe. And he does everything he can to try to replicate that. And he's gotten to the point where he's just tearing people down so he can make them tough again to get them ready for the end of the year. And, like, Tom, you could just go out and win games in the beginning. You don't have to do what you're doing every year to these kids and reckon Pierre Brooks and Gabe Brown and all of these guys that have some talent, and you're just, like, tearing them up and just not getting the best out of them. So I'm kind of tired of Izzo, if you can tell. And just like my dad, I love my dad. He's getting on in years. He's not the same Matt he once was. It doesn't mean he wasn't great at one time. But, at some point you got to move to the right place for you and let the program continue.
No, that's it. I mean, again, it's been a legendary run. It's been phenomenal. But when you lose 52 games over the course of 4 seasons, if you don't think it's time to ask questions, then I just don't reside on the same planet as you. Rico and I have a right to ask questions. None of it is slanderous. Look at the product. And then go around America and watch basketball. And when you're jealous of Cutscene, Baylor, or Texas Tech, or Houston, I never thought I would be jealous of a man who wears a denim dress shirt.
Here's Kelvin out the game.
Here's Kelvin. That was me watching Peacock. I was Kelvin Sampson.
Did he just walk out on the court?
Yes, he did.
While they were playing.
He had had
20.
enough. He had had enough.
It was almost as bad as the guy who mops up the floor at Michigan who was still on the court when the fast break came down. It was like, he's like, whoa, stop. I'm still out here. I was like, is that Sampson? Oh, boy. At that point is when you grab the popcorn. This is about to be good because he just interrupted play. You know he's talking. No, here's the thing. All seriousness, you shouldn't be excited because your team made it to week number 2 of the NCAA tournament.
No.
But state fans are now because most of the time you're bounced either in the first game, the play-in game, or the second game. Make it last year when they got out the first round, it was like, wow, this is what it was like. And they were all excited. It's like, no, that used to just be a rite of passage that the floor was the Sweet 16. You're going to make it to the second weekend. You got to make it to the Final Four weekend. Not anymore. It's, all right, well, if we can make it to the second weekend, that's a great season.
Right. Well, when you're busy losing 13 games a year, it's harder to make the second weekend. I'm not sure if people are aware of that. The regular season does matter. Big Ten championships do matter. Big Ten tournament championship, seeding, all things we have no right to lay claim to anymore. We're in the 4th straight year of being an also-ran.
Right, because here's the sad reality. If you were actually a good team, you would get to play games here at Little Caesars because there's going to be the Midwest Regional right here.
Yeah, well, this was supposed to be that year.
Yeah.
Instead,
you can see Purdue and Zach Edey.
Rico, this is Izzo's greatest failing. Even if you think the preseason poll is fugazi, which it largely is, this was a team that a lot of people expected a lot out of. You had that ability to get games in Detroit this year. You had this ballyhooed recruiting class. Reality is, none of them would play.
We're splitting hairs, maybe second worst failing.
What was the biggest one?
The whole Denzel Giddy Potts. Because that team was actually winning. That team actually won games.
Right, but they hold on. That team won damn near 30 games.
Right. But
they were really good.
Right. They were supposed to win it all.
I know, but the tournament does happen. I mean, stop it.
So I'm saying, yeah, splitting hairs.
Yeah, fair.
But yes.
Okay. I mean, it's bad. David? What was the guy's name who had the male pattern baldness on that team?
I forgot that name.
Well, was it Upshaw? He looked like Key and Peele guy.
Oh, the substitute
Keegan Michael
teacher?
Key?
Yes. He looked like the Balake.
Right.
He played for Middle Tennessee State on that team that beat State. What was his name? Was it look at that team? Was it 2015 MTSU? Look for Upshaw. God killed us. All right. Great memories, isn't it? Listen, bottom line, when you go out there and you're looking for a solution for home improvement, you are looking possibly for a new roof. It's all about customer experience. Victor's Roofing. They've got you covered. All right. They take care of it. They're going to follow up when they say they will. You're going to call them. You're going to talk to a person. They'll walk you through the job site. And then when they're done, they're going to make sure your house is exactly the way it was before they arrived. You get a free 21-point roof inspection. And they do the most thorough inspection in the game. 21 common areas of roof failure. They video their findings. You get all of this. Then you get the best in the game. Quality craftsmanship. Their installers take pride in what they do. Yeah, you'll find companies that are cheaper. You get what you pay for. You want it done? You want a 50-year guarantee on that? Well, you're going to go with Victor's. That's how it works.
Everybody does, even Reggie Upshaw.
That's right. Schedule your free 21-point video inspection today. 734-773-1100. That's 734-773-1100. Or you could set that appointment at victors.com. That's victors.com. We'll get back to your calls in a short moment. But in the lead up to the Super Bowl, because at least this show talks about it, this is a segment we've hated, now we love again. It is called Super Bowl by the Numbers. Now, Roberto, or shall I say Blackbeard, how come you haven't graced us with your presence?
Nope. I'm not doing this.
because I am taking over the Super Bowl by the numbers today.
Wait a minute. Where is the newly minted jet black Roberto Beauchene? Super Bowl by the numbers and hair dye.
The Blackbeard is taking a break today.
Sponsored
He's taking
by
a break
Just
today.
for Men.
I mean, like we wouldn't notice. My goodness.
Yeah, I noticed it last week. He thought
I
he was
did,
going to.
but I thought it was like, okay, a little subtlety. Okay, but now it's
He
like
went Brian Wilson,
Right.
and I ain't talking about the Beach Boy. Go ahead.
So let's get into the game a little bit with these numbers. I'm going to give you a number. You don't have to guess it. I will just talk about it. First number will be 80 million. 80 million is the number that Jawan Taylor received in the offseason. KC signed him for a 4-year, $80 million contract. Here's the problem for KC.
He's taking the most penalties in football.
Taylor has allowed 5 sacks, 47 pressures, while committing 20 penalties, which is overwhelmingly.
And got away with about 17 more that weren't called week 1 against the Lions when he lined up offside.
The timing was off just a touch, but yeah.
By the numbers.
What's important about the number, of course, we talked about the penalties, but it's what Bosa has already done. We know he moves around on the line, but he's already set it up this week with the quote, the Chiefs tackles had a lot of penalties this year.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of holding, so he's setting it up for the game.
By the numbers.
You know what? And I did realize, I heard that. They are basically telling the referees, watch out for this. They cheat. They are offside. They hold. They're not that good, so please throw the flag. So I thought it was a good game
Phil
for sure.
Jackson.
Yeah.
A little bit of, reffing in the media. Go ahead, David. By the numbers.
The next number is 27. 27 is
27.
Okay. You don't have
Guys,
to guess it.
I was about to say guys returning back to the Super Bowl.
No, no.
Okay.
The Chiefs' run defense. The Chiefs' run defense ranks 27th in the NFL, while San Fran finished second in rushing efficiency. You should be happy as a 49er fan. That will help you in this game.
Listen, as far as the game goes, and Friday will be our, fun preview, everything points to the Niners except one thing.
Quarterback.
They got Michael Jordan over there. Mm-hmm. And you bet against Mahomes as a dog, you go broke. So, by the numbers, everything would suggest the Niners.
Right. It suggests to me that Christian McCaffrey is your Super Bowl MVP. Now, here's what I'll say. Even when they were down to the Lions, 17, they stuck to the game plan. They didn't abandon it. They didn't say, we're going to go out here and just play 7-on-7 football. They ran the ball, which tells me no matter what, they're going to keep running until McCaffrey finally pops one.
I am so glad, Mike, you mentioned Michael Jordan on the other side there for Kansas City, because the next number is 0. Patrick Mahomes hasn't had one turnover-worthy play in the playoffs.
Holy.
So he's overdue.
Not that he hasn't turned the ball over, not a worthy play that could have been a turnover. Nothing in this game. Here's interesting, though, on the other side. The 49ers were tied for 5th in takeaways this season, tied for 1st in forcing interceptions. Something has to give, doesn't it?
Yes. The Niners takeaways, it's something because they don't blitz a lot.
Correct.
No, they bait you.
And they don't change up coverages a lot. They'll do some. But yet, it's their efficiency, and it is this turnover creation. And you're facing a quarterback who, well, he ain't going to do that.
Yeah, you think it's open, but it's not, and all of a sudden there's Greenlaw snatching it out the air.
Can I offer you something by the numbers? 5,984. Anybody know what 5,984 would mean? Let me just offer it.
Passing yards.
No, that is the distance between Tokyo and Las Vegas with which Taylor Swift will be flying to this game to see her boyfriend. And according to certain media reports today, not me, certain reports today, she may be asking the NFL to pay for that flight. You imagine you're a billionaire and you want a free flight, huh?
Isn't that how you become a billionaire? You don't pay for nothing.
I'm pretty sure it'd be selling about 1 billion records, but okay.
Because I guess she realizes, guys, if you just show me landing,
look what I've done for you.
people are going to watch that. If you show me getting into the limo, getting to the game, people will watch your pregame show because there will be a lot of folks, eyeballs glued. Oh my gosh, she's here. She's here. So, but I did see she wants people to stop tracking her flights.
She's not even that good. I just don't get it.
Oh my God, who said that?
I'm not mad about it.
That's
That's
Kenobi Cott.
That's Kenobi Cott. He does not represent the rest of this show. Hey, what's the number 7 represent? By the numbers.
However many seconds it's going to take for someone to rip Kenny for what he just said.
Close. The amount of vials of Just for Men Roberto has injected into his face. By the numbers. David, more Super Bowl by the numbers, please.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
His
gosh.
beard looks like the dude from Star Trek.
Oh,
Look at that thing. Happy,
Jonathan Frakes.
happy 21st birthday, Roberto. David, please.
Oh my gosh.
By the numbers.
This is probably a strength on strength here. The number is 12 and 1. 12 represents Kansas City has blitzed the 12th highest in the league, and Purdy ranks number 1 in both EPA per pass play and success rate when it comes to being blitzed.
Oh,
Strength
Rico.
on strength. Another one, what gives?
Yeah, I think he's thrown like 14 touchdowns when blitzed.
Correct.
By the numbers. Everything points to the Niners except Babe Ruth on the other side.
See, for me, you're right. I would just make sure you're double team Kelsey with your best corner. I'm not worried about any of the receivers.
You mean future Detroit Lion L'Jarius Sneed? By the numbers. David.
And I will finish it with this number because this may not look good for you, Rico.
What's the number?
15.6.
Average passing yards per play.
Nope. The Chiefs' defense has allowed just 15.6 points per game through 20 games this season. That's the lowest average for any Chiefs defense under Andy Reid since
The entire
2013.
Entire season.
All their games. You have a great offense here, but they seem to have a great defense.
Yeah, I mean, they jump ahead and they just squeeze you and they force you to go one-dimensional.
Also, quick update, Super Bowl, by the numbers, the number 1. That would be the amount of people trapped on top of the sphere right now because
It
some
is.
idiot has climbed up on that thing and doesn't know how to get down.
How? did
I
he get up
don't
there?
know.
By the number.
I mean, the thought process to climb the sphere, 7 tubes of Just for Men in your beard.
Can't you just leave him up there?
No, you can't. He'll roast up there. He'll be like a rotisserie chicken.
You know?
It's
Stuff happens.
getting hot, man. It's getting to the middle of the day. It will heat up very soon.
And that is the Super Bowl by the numbers. All right, I can't do that voice during this read. It is the Super Bowl, Rob Gronkowski, the whole kick thingamabob. Here's the deal. They're doing it again. So now you go to FanDuel, you make your pick. Is he going to make it or miss it? If you get it right, you get your share at a $10 million prize pool. How many people are joining? I have no idea. I can pretty much guarantee you won't win $10 million. So once we get that out of the way, guess if he makes it or misses it. And that could be your first winning bet for the Super Bowl. It's FanDuel.com/ticket. That's FanDuel.com/ticket. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official betting partner of 97.1 The Ticket. 21 and up, present Michigan. No purchase necessary. $10 million prize pool split equally among all eligible participants who make the correct pick. Non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms. FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
Brought to you by Michigan Hair Restoration. After his team blew a 15-point second-half lead to lose at home to Rutgers on Saturday, Juwan Howard ripped into the Wolverines, challenging their buy-in. 4 days later, and with the number 11 team in the country in town, Howard says U of M is fully committed. Michigan looking to end a 5-game losing streak and to win for just the second time in 12 games at home tonight against the Badgers. You can hear that on WWJ, coverage starting at 6:30. The Pistons have acquired second-year forward Simone Fontecchio from the Jazz for Kevin Knox, this year's second-round pick, and the rights to Italian developmental player Gabriel Procida. Detroit, by the way, at Sacramento tonight, kicking off a 5-game West Coast road trip that you can hear right here on 97.1 starting at 9:35. And 2 college football coaching headlines. Former Michigan State interim head coach Harlan Barnett has been hired as Northwestern's new defensive backfield coach, and Ohio State could lose its new offensive coordinator less than 3 weeks after hiring him. Ryan Day brought in Bill O'Brien to take over play calling for the Buckeyes on January 19th. Now he's a finalist for the Boston College job. At the Corewell Health Update Desk, I'm Beanie Howell. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Also, welcome back, 3 o'clock. Tremendous of Commander Riker to join us on the show today. Roberto, old Blackbeard over there. My God. Straight up OD'd on the Just for Men. Holy hell.
It'll last him for a while.
It looks like Dr. Richard Kimball. All right. So oh, my God.
Somebody's dyeing their hair and eating oranges.
He just Peter Pan right here off that pipe. Now, here's what we're going to do. We will get to the Pistons trade in a little bit. But we started the show with something, and it's got great traction. And it doesn't matter whether you're a fan of this team or not. The prevailing question is, how patient do you need to be with a legendary coach? Any sport, any time frame. And if he's a legend, it means he has done legendary things for you. The person in question is Tom Izzo. Because Michigan State basketball is now in its 4th straight year of being completely irrelevant and largely unwatchable. They're awful. There's no talent here. And Tom Izzo is the owner, CEO, GM, coach, agent, all of it. Nothing happens there that doesn't hit his desk. You don't get to have a cute name tag on your office unless it does. Well, when the big chief decides this is what he wants to get done, this is what gets done. If he doesn't want to go to the portal, they don't go to the portal. Well, last night they went and lost a garbage game at Minnesota. They're now perfectly 500 or game under 500 in the Big Ten. And since Cassius Winston left, they are a 500 program in this conference. And I'm done. Like, I don't have the patience for this.
Yeah, 6-6, but
and the Big Ten's bad. Can we just say
no, Mike? They only make it 6 teams in the tournament. Now, here's what's going to happen: is you're going to get people saying, "Well, but they're favored in every game for the rest of the Big Ten season, minus Purdue."
They were favored last night too.
You know what, Mike?
Not being a Richard.
Sorry. You know what, buddy? You earned this.
My bad. Thank you, buddy. I'm projecting, but we've done the parking meter. Where is your parking meter with Tom Izzo and Michigan State basketball? Mine's empty. I'm out. He could retire now. I'd be like, go enjoy the beach, man. But it's time for new blood. This thing is stale. Or he can double down and stick around, but I'm going to hold it to the same standard. If we're not a top 10 program, I'm not interested. You know what? Yeah, in many ways, he's a victim of his own success. Well, cry me a river. That's what the money's for. Mm-hmm. So I'm out. Like, I have no more patience left. Rico, you're saying he has this offseason to completely reshape this thing, and whatever next year's product is, you are going to ride with it. If it's this again, He's 70. It's time to go.
Yeah, it may be time to go. But ironically enough, it goes back to how you're saying about his assistant coaches, because I look at the players, because he has stepped up his game in the last couple of recruiting classes. It hasn't been like the A.J. Hoggard, that class. Ironically enough, you're bringing in Jace Howard, Jason Richardson's son, is coming in next year. Plus, but he still needs a big man. He does not have somebody who can give you 10 points, 10 rebounds. That's what's missing. I'm not asking for you to go out and get Hunter Dickinson 20 and 10.
Oh, see, I am.
Can you at least give me 10 and 10?
No, I'm asking you to do exactly what Bill Self does. I'm asking you to do exactly what Hubert Davis does. I'm asking you to do what Danny Hurley does. I'm asking you to operate a power program. And if you're not willing to or incapable of, please go to the beach and go enjoy your life. Because this is nonsense. No, so you can ask for 10 and 10.
Just somebody who could just rebound.
Nope.
Hang out down low. You could dump it in there. They have a post move. I mean, geez, when you start sitting there thinking of the glory days of Gavin Schilling, it's been a long time.
So 248-539-9797. And if you don't give a rip about college basketball, that's just fine, because the topic is bigger than that. How much patience should a fan show a legend? To me, this is 4 straight years of completely unacceptable performance. Yeah. And Tom being stubborn and not going to the portal. We're good. We're done here.
Because then you start thinking like the D'Antonio. Yeah, he was at the top. He fell off in 16. You thought 17, he bounced back. He won 10 games. Okay, and crashing off the cliff, 18, 19.
Rico's parking meter's low. Mine's empty. David, I mean, again, you can use this with anybody you want. You don't have to care about Michigan State. But if you can set aside bias. Look, it is what it is. You can both say he's a Hall of Famer, factual. But you can also say the program is in a state of complete mediocrity, and a lot of people, Rico included, people I know, apathy is setting in.
Yeah, because somehow, Mike, the bar got lowered, and I don't think any State fan realized it. Where it used to be, everybody who played for 4 years, you went to the Final Four. And now it's everybody who comes to Michigan State where you're going to get to go to the tournament. That shouldn't be the bar. That shouldn't be the end game. No. But they have become almost addicted to the streak. Well, we got to keep this thing going. And trust me, in a few weeks, you're going to see on TV when they show the stuff, Tom Izzo, thanks to Kansas and all, their games being vacated, Izzo is the coach with the longest streak in the tournament. That's all you are. It's like the Wings at the end when we just got to make the playoffs. Are you going to win it? No, but we made it. Are you going to win the tournament? No, but we made it again. Year 27, go ahead and cross that off.
And that's exactly what I'm not interested in. So if that makes me a bad fan, tell me.
Yeah, I mean, like 2020 COVID, okay, yeah, it was a bad year. At that point, I was like, okay, just keep the streak going, bounce back.
And then choke the game away to UCLA.
But this is all you've been doing. And like last year, I shouldn't be that excited because you beat Marquette and made it to the third round.
You know what's funny? Shaka Smart, I'm not to nerd out. Remember that first run at VCU? Mm-hmm. Made his name? Hasn't been out of the first weekend of the tournament since. 9 straight first weekend exits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know. Cool story, bro.
No.
248-539-9797.
That was a fact that I knew, but yeah.
I got you. David, what's your take on it? Parking meter.
It's what Rico just said. When you can say every 4 years you've gone to the Final Four, but now you can't say that anymore. It's we made the tournament. You can't have a program that was that high now become that low. That can't happen under your watch. You have to adapt. And because you haven't adapted, the meters run low, meaning I'm now ready for you to leave now. It just is what it is.
Or you've become apathetic. Listen, no one is running Izzo out.
No.
That's not how this game works. This is about, as a fan, how much more time do you give before you're like, why, before you stop watching?
It just made no sense to me a few years back, and he's still there doing the same thing.
Yeah, you start saying to yourself, this isn't fun anymore.
No.
This is work. This is pain. This is anger. This is a whole lot of emotions, but it's not where it used to be, where you looked forward to, okay, State's about to beat this team down. Now it's, can we maybe win this game? And that's how it feels when you go in. And, David, I lowered that bar. I don't have high expectation. I told you I'd reassess the team when Kohler came back, and he looked like a guy who just broke his foot. So you know what? It stayed low for me. And I've told people like, oh, well, this team. I was like, right now, this team is somewhere between a 7 seed and an 11 seed. Depending on how they finish the season out, you're going to end up losing to either a 1 or a 2 in the second round of the tournament. And that's it. Your season's going to be over.
Here's the other thing, too, from a quality quotient standpoint. Look, outside the top 200 in any category I damn near care about. Rebounding, defensive metrics, pace of play is 298th in America. But they shoot the three, do they? Because they're outside the top 200 and made threes.
But here's the thing. The pace of play works if you play great defense and you can get turnovers, and now it's just you. It's Virginia basketball. You suffocate. It's Baylor when they won.
Houston.
You suffocate people.
Houston.
Yeah. But you love your Houston.
No,
I'm going to get you a Houston jean jacket.
Kelvin Sampson edition denim dress
sign
shirt.
it.
Listen, reality is if you want to watch Michigan State basketball of old, watch Houston.
Yeah.
Because this program has lost its complete spinal identity. There is no toughness.
And it's funny because
no rebounding. They're soft as Charmin.
I guess Sampson kind of took what he learned in the Big Ten and took it to Houston, and they were not used to right. But you're right. It is what MSU used to be. So, yeah, you could play a slow down game if you're going to lock down your opponent and do nothing. Like, what, Virginia won 60-38 the other night? Like,
bombed Miami. It was horrible. Yeah, but again, I don't want to play that way. I really don't.
You know what? I'll take that way if it means you're winning the game by 22 points.
248-539-9797. We'll get your ticket text, and I'm getting your phone calls in, and then we're going to move on to other things today. Elevate your driving experience. Oops, I am an idiot.
Tell them about it. No. You do this even? Go ahead, Mike.
No.
All right. Planet Fitness. You know what? I am not going to judge Mike. Why? Because I go to Planet Fitness, and it is the home of the judgment-free zone. We don't judge people. They don't judge people. You said you were going to start working out at the beginning of the year. You haven't. Don't worry. Nobody's going to judge you. Get on down to Planet Fitness right now through February 16th. $1 down, $10 a month. Get you a membership at Planet Fitness. They have exercise equipment for whatever it is that you are into and whatever it is you want to do. Cardio, strength training, they have it. Plus, every membership gets free fitness training. So, and if you say you don't have time, well, you can get a full body workout in just 30 minutes on the Planet Fitness 30-minute workout circuit. So what are you waiting for? $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment whatsoever. Now through February 16th, head over to your local Planet Fitness to sign up, or you can go online, planetfitness.com.
Straight to the people. How much time's left in that parking meter for Michigan State basketball and Tom Izzo? In Michigan, you're on the clock tonight. I mean, Juwan Howard needs a win like anger management and oxygen. And Wisconsin's coming to town.
Like a goldfish in a leaky bag.
Yeah, that works too. Let's go to Jim, 97.1. Jimmy, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, guys. I'm like you, Mike. I'm done. I was really looking forward to this season after the football season. I'm like, God, ranked fourth or whatever they were at the beginning of the preseason. Everybody's coming back. I was really looking forward to this, and it got to a slow start. He said they'll pick it up. Now I'm to a point now is I don't even know if I want to make the tournament, and the fact that maybe there'll be a change if they don't make the tournament. How can the post players on this team are so bad? And I'm watching at the end of the game yesterday, and Cooper's still in, and I'm like, what are they? I don't understand why. I watch other teams. Mike, maybe you can explain this to me.
Sure.
Rico. And I watch other games, and I watched Kentucky or I watched Duke, or last night a freshman ate us up last night. Why don't we ever have a freshman that can give minutes and play? Is it because Izzo doesn't believe in them? It really irritates me because we had one of the best recruiting classes, one of the top 5 this year, and not one freshman has contributed that much this season, and that shouldn't be that way. You're telling me that Booker is not better than Cooper? I have a hard time with that when this kid is supposed to be ranked in the top 10 in the country.
Well, Jim, yeah.
Go ahead.
No. The rankings aren't always what they seem, and Booker can't play defense. There's really no other way.
What's Roberto doing up on TV?
Stop it. Ryan Day, folks. Sorry about that, Jim.
Even Ryan Day thinks Roberto took the beard a little aggressive.
Booker can't do defense. Now, the problem is I do believe by the time of the Big Ten season, right now, I do think Jeremy Fears would have been the starting point guard. If he hadn't gotten shot, he was about to take that job away from A.J. Hoggard, and I think A.J. knew that. But then things happened in Chicago one night, and we're back to A.J. Now, he was going to come in and contribute and be that freshman that you were hoping to see because he was starting to gain the leadership of the team. But, yeah, Booker can shoot the three. I'll give him that, and we'll leave it at that.
Is this because they're not getting any better during the year? So is that the coaching, the assistant coaches?
Yeah, part of it is it's Booker's very thin, and this is the Big Ten. He gets pushed around when he goes down low in the paint. Like, you're going to put him up against any big man in the Big Ten, I guarantee you that person will get at least 30 points that night.
Well, then why aren't we recruiting kids that can come up and play right as a freshman? Because there's a lot of good freshmen out there. What's the problem? Why can't we get this kid, this stud freshman?
I can answer that.
I mean, because most of your stud freshmen, Jim, are going straight to the G League now. They're not even going to college.
No, but what he's asking is, listen, I mean, for instance, the kid Baylor's got, superstar. He's going to go to the NBA, one and done. It's Tom's job to find guys who can play. Now, hey, I'm with Rico on this. If you think you're going to see another John Wall, Kentucky, fabulous freshman team win it all, I disagree. I'm with Rico on that. You need a blend. But Tom's job is to go to the portal. I'm sitting here and I'm jealous of Creighton basketball. That's a problem. All right, I'm jealous of the big that Fred Hoiberg got.
I'm jealous of Wisconsin going out and get stored from St. John.
That's the whole point.
Still don't know how your boy Patino let him walk out the door.
I mean, he flipped the whole team except Soriano to center.
Right, but I'm like, Storr is probably going to be the Big Ten Player of the Year.
Tom's done a bad job on basically every front. No, that was my answer to the caller. What is Roberto doing up on the TV again? Roberto, look at Ryan Day. Do you see yourself in the mirror with your hair dye and that beard? It's approaching Ryan Day levels, Roberto.
You know what, David? I can't do this.
Come on.
Look at
Yeah, he was on the box that I bought.
Right. He got the Buckeye edition. I mean, Roberto, honestly, you've gone this far. You've gone this far with the dye. Would you do us a kindness? I'll pay for it. Throw a few more boxes in and be Ryan Day for Friday's show. Can you do that for me? Just jet black.
Oh, man. But you didn't even go all in. Like, why didn't you just do it all?
Because I didn't want it to look too fake.
It already looks fake.
I hate to break it to you.
Last week was like, okay. Today was just like, yep.
And next week, it's Ryan Day. Jeff is up next, 97.1. What's up, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on, Mike and Rico? How you guys doing?
Hey, Jeff. What's going on?
I just wanted to talk about Coach Izzo and the shoe, and my juice is still full. I did go Pete Bell last night and a few other times when we've been on Peacock this year. But I don't think Coach Izzo is the problem. I'm not sure what is. I know something is up. But if you take a look at the Big Ten right now, top guys, Purdue, always has been. Matt Painter's doing a great job coaching them up. They did also get beat in the first round against Farley Dickinson last year. You know what I mean? It just college hoops is in a different state than what it used to be. There's only one Big Ten team right now, currently, that has a winning record on the road, and that is also Purdue. Everyone else does.
All right, but
Does that seem
juxtapose
kinda
it.
odd to you guys?
Jeff, juxtapose it that how many road wins does MSU have all year?
We are currently.
You have one.
I was about to say, let me help you out with that.
1-5. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just making a point. The things you're saying are true, and so are the things I'm saying.
And
so
Jeff,
we can meet in the middle. I mean, Jeff, bottom line, MSU basketball the last 4 years is going to lose 13 games a year.
Yeah, and you could have easily had 3 wins. You gave away the game in Illinois. You gave away the game last night, and your one win, you stole it at Maryland. So going on the road, you didn't look great in any of those. So you could easily have none, at the most maybe 3.
Yeah, I just don't see any Big Ten teams that are doing well on the road, though.
Right, but Jeff, I guess the frustration kicks in. The state finished with 56 points. They had 45 points with 13 minutes to go in the game. They scored 11 points in the final 13 minutes.
Listen, Jeff, the bottom line, all of it, too, just to answer the way you led your call. I don't want to be Purdue. Matt Painter's a god-awful, tournament coach. The point is, MSU doesn't even have a right to play in the same game as Purdue. We're not competing for the conference. We're irrelevant nationally. And I'm not going to get bogged down the numbers by saying, well, we suck on the road, but no one's great. Look, Michigan State basketball is supposed to be different. It is supposed to be the outlier. It is supposed to be a team that is the banner carrier for this conference and one of the elite programs in America. Tom Izzo has not had it there now in approaching 5 years. So that's the conversation. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree. But you can't argue the things we're talking about. Tom Izzo builds that roster. Roster, not good. Roster does not fit. And God love it, Rico's right. I mean, Jeremy Fears would play more right now, but with all due respect to him, he's not Jacoby Walter. All right, Jeremy Fears is just a nice player. Ain't nobody going to mistake him for Elijah Collier out at USC or the kid at Colorado, Cody Williams. I'm just, guys, he ain't finding players. And then he chose not to find him in the portal. You ended up here. Going to lose 13, 14 games. You're going to be a 10 or an 11 seed. And when someone like this guy over here doesn't care, that's a real problem. For me, it's different. I've always treated it like pro sports. This dude bleeds it. And for him to be apathetic, yeah, I think that says a lot. 248-539-9797. Well, go ahead.
Just waiting.
Hey, the hell with David. He ain't the boss of you.
Just waiting for Little Cleaves to get there in a couple of years.
See, this is what I'm so done with. Now we're just relying on our former players' sperm to fuel the program.
Oh, then you'll be waiting after Little Cleaves. You know who's coming?
I don't care.
Don't you have one next year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Richardson, Little Cleaves, and maybe David, Little Torbert.
Oh, does he have a broke-ass jumper too? Does he shoot on the way down like Daddy? You know I'm right.
And a little Hudson. I know you'll be happy about that one.
I loved Andre
And
Hudson.
8, Xavier Tillmans.
Yeah, we'll have a whole Moneyball squad with the Tillmans.
Well, just wait till football, David. I can't wait till all the Golstons show up.
Probably already have more advanced moves than Daddy.
All right.
All right.
Reed.
Elevate your driving experience. Moran Buick GMC. They make car buying and certified car service a breeze. The 24 Terrain, $225 a month. 24 Encore, $212 a month. Both 24 months, $19.95 down. New stock arriving daily. Easy online ordering system, as always, at MoranExpress.com. They've got you covered. And they've got Denali's in stock. It's Moran Buick GMC, where you always get the best price, period. It's on Telegraph, just north of Eureka and Taylor, or at MoranExpress.com. Moran Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Brought to you by CGC Water Treatment. Following last night's 59-56 loss at Minnesota, Michigan State trending toward the bubble, according to multiple bracketologists, have the Spartans on the 11 line. MSU 14-9, 6-6 in conference play. Their league record since the 2021 season, 37-34. That's sixth best in the Big Ten over that span. MSU 11-25 on the road in league play the last 4 seasons, just 13-23 versus ranked foes. Pistons at Kings tonight, starting a 5-game West Coast road trip. You can hear that right here on 97.1 coverage starting at 9:35. And Michigan basketball looks to salvage its season at home versus number 11 Wisconsin tonight. You can hear that on WWJ starting at 6:30. At the Corewell Health Update Desk, I'm Beanie Howell. More at 4 or at 971theticket.com.
All right, let's get a little football in the mix. Music, please. Mr. Beard.
Mike, unlike yesterday where I just picked things that ticked you off, this is going to be a little bit of Super Bowl, a little bit of football, a little bit of free agency, and a little bit of draft, all mixed together.
All right, I'm in.
Where do you want to start off first?
For fun, free agency.
Free agency, Mike, for you. Where does Saquon Barkley end up?
Oh, man, I tell you, I don't care where he ends up. I just hope it ain't with the Giants. I've had enough. Why, David?
We don't pay running backs.
Our roster's terrible. We got too many needs. I'll give you one. Chargers. Jim Harbaugh. Eckler's about done. They need a bell cow.
A name.
He's still going to play ball Greg Roman style, 2013. Sell some tickets. Barkley wants a paycheck. Yeah. What about the Chargers?
I could easily see that. Less wear and tear on Herbert because Herbert is like, I don't want to be a rushing quarterback. So I'll hand the ball off. That's actually a good fit, Mike.
Okay, just something.
While we're out there, Stephon Diggs, where does he end up? Is he back with the Bills?
Man, I hope it's therapy. He's got anger issues. He needs to talk to somebody. I don't know what's up with him. On a week-to-week basis, the brooding, the screaming, the yelling, the outbursts. That's great for a radio show. That ain't much when you're a football player and you need to be a good teammate. It won't be Buffalo. I am just convinced of that. But who wants to take on that drama? Who would be a team that loves all the sex appeal and the sizzle and the, oh, wait, his little brother plays there?
I was about to say, wait, was there a team where his brother plays?
How about the Dallas Cowboys?
All right, you know what? We're right here. David, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I was thinking like Carolina, Washington, because they...
David, he'd kill somebody in Carolina.
I know.
Do you understand?
I do.
Are you rooting for radio?
I am.
Okay.
He's rooting for Bryce Young's demise.
Right.
It's already over for him, so.
My goodness.
Speaking of the Cowboys have interviewed Rex Ryan to become their defensive coordinator. It's a good move, bad move, game passed him by?
If you wanted Rex Ryan, why not just hire Wink Martindale? 10 years younger, at least he's still in the game, and they run a blitz-heavy scheme. I wouldn't hire either guy. Take it from me, who's endured Wink Martindale the last couple of years. Just doesn't make sense to me. No, I would not hire him.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't hire him on the surface of he's begging for the job. So which means, I'm sorry, I'm good. I'll go get somebody else. Thank you, though. Thank you for your interest.
All right, David, this one is for you. Reports have it that the Rooneys are open to a trade for QB.
I believe it when I see it.
Some of the names that are being rumored: Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins, Kyler Murray, Justin Fields.
No.
I'm happy with Justin Fields, and I would be happy with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, there's the fit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Kirk Cousins in the Steeler black and gold. That's the fit.
But again,
veteran leadership, proven commodity. I love Justin Fields, but let's be clear. He needs to go to an offense that is going to cater to him, and
they're not going to cater to him. You're exactly right. With Arthur Smith, please. But again, I believe it when I see it. They won't do anything at the quarterback position.
No love for Kyler?
No, I'm good.
But he's mobile and shifty.
I'm good. I need somebody taller
Nimble.
than 5'7", so I'm good.
Wow. All right, guys. The Senior Bowl and all the activities took place last weekend. In your opinion, which is more important for that guy coming out of college? The Senior Bowl activities, the NFL Combine, or their pro days?
Wow. It's always funny is you hear it as a storyline when guys get drafted that when the staffs who are at the Senior Bowl get familiarity with certain players, it leads them to taking someone they coach that week. Now, if you're talking about ability to raise your overall profile, it'll always be the Combine. But if you're talking about the ability to get drafted, it's probably the Senior Bowl. Think about it. Oh, yeah, we spent a ton of time with Bernard down in Mobile all week, and they take that guy. Doesn't it feel like there's that direct corollary?
Go ahead, David.
I was going to say, because there's one thing you can do at the Senior Bowl that you can't do at the Combine. You get your hands on with these players. You can go down there and talk to them scheme-wise while they're on the field doing things. Can't do that at the Combine.
Because like Michael Penix didn't play in the game. He practiced, did okay. Bo Nix practiced, did okay. Played very little. Spencer Rattler walked away the clear winner of those things, which if I had to choose between one of those three quarterbacks, it still ain't Spencer Rattler. So that's just me. When it comes to the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes said this. He told his guys, if you stay focused and you don't go out to all the different festivities and we win, I'll bring the entire team back here for a week and I'm footing the bill.
I love it. And that bill will roughly exceed $10 million.
Yeah, he told his team, guys, stay away from everything. Treat this like a business trip. I will bring everybody back here for a week, and we can have all types of debauchery.
Listen, I have never seen such a differential between how likable Pat Mahomes is and how detestable the people around him are. That's all I can tell you. He's Michael Jordan.
Yeah, while I get annoyed with him always being there, he seems like a pretty good dude.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, between the wife, the brother, the dad, the whole it's like, you know what? Separate the worlds. Him, he's awesome, man. And you know what? That is ultimate bribery for your team. But it's a good move when you signed a $500 million deal. That's self-preservation.
He could afford it. Sticking with the Chiefs. If the Kansas City Chiefs win this game, I hope not, but if the Chiefs win, does Andy Reid retire? Is this it for him?
I'm going to say yes, because the way he answered the question at Media Day is now's not the time when he was asked the question. I think if they win, he retires.
See, I took that answer differently as him saying, I'm not ready to go yet. Now's not the time. So I don't know.
No.
I think he stays.
David, I think that he leaves. It tells me he's thought about it because it's very simple. Are you retiring? No, I'm not retiring. I want to win another one and another one. I'm DJ Khaled out here. Now is not the time to talk. Normally when you go that route, it means I know if I tell you how I truly feel, that becomes a new story, and that's all everybody will talk about. So hit me up when the game is over. If I got the Lombardi trophy in my hand, I'll answer that question. Finally, this. In honor of Black History Month, I don't think some NFL owners really understand what's going on, but reports have it owners have complained to the league office about the sheer number of compensatory picks the 49ers receive for serving as a pipeline for coaches and executives of people of color. This is an actual story that owners are upset because they feel like the 49ers are circumventing the system in order to get compensatory picks, not providing an opportunity that actually people want to hire their coaches and executives to move on. Not necessarily a question.
Yeah, I was going to say, where's the question?
Oh, no, it wasn't a question. It was just a little bit of commentary on my part that how clueless some NFL owners are, that they're angry because the Niners are getting way too many picks because they actually have good assistant coaches and executives, and they happen to be people of color.
Oh, my.
So I just wanted to end it with that.
I mean,
you don't have to comment.
No. It's just, it's interesting what you said. And this is an actual headline, ... I feel like you get that daily in the world of sports now, where you read something and you go, is this The Onion?
Yeah.
Nope, this is real life.
I mean, from Vrabel looking too intimidating.
That was yesterday's headline.
To this, where they're getting too many picks because people want their coaches. Like Shanahan has figured out a way to beat the system. I know what I'll do. Let's go get that DeMeco Ryan. That'll help out. Mike McDonald, you're going to run the offense and then get a job. All right, I'm done. That's your Blitz 97.1.
All right, FanDuel, perfect way to celebrate the Super Bowl 58. No sweat, same game parlay. You bet the Super Bowl on FanDuel, and you put together one of these SGPs, and that's really the value of the Super Bowl. It's our last stand. It is our last game. You get crazy a little bit. Bonus bets back if you fail to hit that SGP. Start building your own, or they got the pre-builds. Visit FanDuel.com/ticket. If you don't already have an account, make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 and up, present Michigan. Minimum 3-leg parlay required. Refund issued. Non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117. We are going to get to the Pistons made a trade, and it is really an example of two things can be true, is that I don't hate the player they've received. I hate the situation they are in because of it. We'll get to it in 10 minutes. I was just reading an article and talking with Rico in the break, guys, and I always say this, it's not reinventing the wheel. The Super Bowl isn't for any of us. Even if the Lions were going, the cheapest tickets at the time you played San Francisco was over $8,000 a ticket. Now, all jokes aside, that just gets you in the building. Did you see the hype around this? Do you know what luxury suites are going for at the Super Bowl? $2.5 million to take in a football game. But I started thinking about this. What I don't think the average fan realizes is the players can't afford that. Oh, sure, a Mahomes can. And I'm not even going to do the low-hanging fruit of Brock Purdy, who's, well, he's the 7th-round pick. That doesn't even matter. Get up out of here. I'm talking about legitimate players. And Rico said something that is it's actually really sharp. So Christian McCaffrey makes about $16 million a year. But no, he doesn't. He makes less than half of that. I mean, for one, he plays half his season in the egregious tax state of California.
Yep.
Then the other 8 games, he is taxed on where they are played. Then you pay your agent. He may call it half if he's lucky. So he would have to take north of a quarter of his salary for the year to put his family in a luxury suite at the Super Bowl.
Right. So when you think about that, is there something that you would do for one night that you would take a quarter of what you make for the year?
Roberto already has his answer in 2 chicks at the same time.
I thought I was about to see 7 boxes of just for
Peterman, breast exams on Channel 9. Shout out Office Space. Great movie. Kenny, have you seen it?
Oh,
no. No. Kenny, no.
This is my Doug moment of the day, I guess.
Your homework is to watch Office Space.
Yes, sir.
It will describe your relationship with this building.
All right.
That's all I'll say. Rico, back at it, please.
The
you
copying
say you
machine.
do around here one? Is that the joke you were getting at? All right, terrific.
No, it's just watch the movie.
Okay.
You'll understand.
The copying machine.
Michael Bolton. No, but it's crazy when you think about this event. It's not even just not for the fans. It's not for the players' families.
Well, that's why I think, too, like, if you're a Lions fan, you want them to have the number 1 overall seed, or you want the championship game played here in Detroit.
Yes.
Because that's your Super Bowl. That's when the average Joe can sit there and watch your team hoist a trophy up. It ain't the Lombardi, but they will share it with you, the people, because the Super Bowl is for businesses and corporations.
I wonder how many players on that field would have their financial advisors sign off on a $2.5 million suite for the Super Bowl. I mean, Mahomes, he got more money than God. Kelsey, considering he's in every commercial every day, I'd like to think he could afford it. We all know Taylor Swift can too. I'm talking players, though. You will be shocked. I mean,
probably on the Niners, you're probably looking at Bosa and Trent Williams.
Okay, so 3 Niners max.
No,
4.
one. Because
Okay.
Bosa makes 34.
Isn't that crazy, though? $2.5 million on a luxury suite for the Super Bowl for a 3-hour event. That tells you the juice the event has. And obviously being in Las Vegas helps that.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon Ayuk, he would be in debt. He would have to put it on his credit card and pay off some next year.
That may be why Taylor Swift is asking the NFL to pay for the plane ride to get back, because she already paid for the suite. She doesn't have any more.
Taylor Swift realizes, whoa.
Yeah, you need me. I don't need you.
I've been doing all of this stuff for free. You need to give mom a little taste here.
Think about it. She shows up. The event's got a higher profile. What's the actual cash value of that? At least $2.5 million.
I'm doing this for you. You're not doing this for me.
That's right.
What are you talking about? People in Detroit told me nobody's watching the Super Bowl because the Lions aren't in it.
You better get to your man.
No. I mean, callers were like, nobody. This is going to be the lowest watched Super Bowl ever because the Detroit Lions aren't in it. And I'm thinking they're like, you haven't been in the first 57. And they put up record numbers.
I mean, people.
And that's not a slight, but it was like, what?
Man, the butthurt can't be that strong.
Like Taylor Swift alone means that this will be one of the most watched Super Bowls.
Game was 10 days ago.
Heaven forbid that Usher actually waves her down from the crowd and she sings a song with him at halftime.
No.
Are you serious?
That's another one. She won't sing you a song for $2.5 million. And the NFL doesn't pay. They don't pay to have these acts. They think you need to be excited to play the Super Bowl. Well, that's how you end up with all the has-been people Roberto likes playing it.
But I'm saying maybe.
I mean, Usher hadn't had a hit in 20 years.
But maybe they play, well, yeah. You like that, David?
Wow. Thank you for that.
But no, maybe that's what she wants the money for. I'll come down and do a song or walk on stage and introduce Usher.
Do we like the Super Bowl in Vegas? Like, do you think this is going to be okay?
I do.
I don't.
I think the league's going to make a move to make this an every other year thing.
Vegas, because Vegas holds parties. Vegas holds all types of conventions. They're used to this.
It's an event town, David.
This is all they do every day.
On that, sure. But I read something Troy Aikman, I believe what Troy Aikman's saying. I think something's going to happen in Vegas off the field. I think some players are going to get themselves in trouble, like the Miami the Falcons player.
Eugene Robinson got a hooker. Yeah, that's who you're saying. And he was the NFL Man of the Year.
Yes, he was.
I would say this, David, I don't think so because I think their cops know when to suspend things and let some stuff go by.
The hypocrisy of the NFL, though, telling players you can't even pull a slot machine. But we're doing the Super Bowl in Vegas, and they're taking north of $200 million in sponsorship deals from sportsbooks.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I think this is something that can happen. It's like New Year's Eve in Vegas. They just basically say, guys, don't kill anybody and you're okay.
Wow. I did not.
Oh, New Year's Eve in Vegas is just, sergeants, I see nothing. I hear nothing. That's the cops.
Okay.
I got an idea for New Year's Eve this year.
I mean, David, to get arrested in Vegas on New Year's Eve, you've done something bad, heinous.
Fascinating.
Because they don't want, let's just celebrate, have fun. Hey, you two guys, quit fighting, put the knife down, and enjoy the fireworks.
All right, well, bad, heinous. It's Troy Weaver. Let's talk about it. Pistons made a move. I need to sort through it. Next, 97.1.
Brought to you by the Michigan Lottery. It's National Signing Day in college football. MSU has signed a receiver, edge rusher, and kicker, all 3 stars. Expected to sign a 3-star O-lineman before the day is through. Spartans lost a 3-star linebacker commit to USC. Michigan signed all 27 of its players for the 2024 recruiting cycle during the early signing period. 24/7 Sports ranking U of M's class 16th nationally, MSU's 43rd. The Pistons traded for Simone Fontecchio this afternoon, sending Utah Kevin Knox, a second-rounder, and the rights to Italian developmental player Gabriel Procida. Detroit starting a 5-game West Coast road trip tonight at Sacramento that you can hear right here on 97.1, coverage starting at 9:35. And Michigan basketball hosts number 11 Wisconsin at Chrysler tonight. Hear that on WWJ, coverage starting at 6:30. And according to the American Gaming Association, some 68 million U.S. citizens will bet on this Sunday's Super Bowl. That's over 1/4 of the entire population. The total amount wagered, a projected $23 billion. At the Corewell Health Update Desk, I'm Beanie Howell. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Okay, so let's, against my better judgment, we'll spend a segment on it. Pistons have made a move. Let me try to walk through it.
Fun.
This one's complicated, so kind of bear with me. They made a trade today to acquire Simone Fontecchio. No, I'm not related to him. Yes, he's from Italy. Who, for a part of this year when Lauri Markkanen was out for the Jazz, started. Also, fun side note, he lit your ass up the night the Jazz were here. Now, as a player, I don't hate it. He's 28. He's shooting a career best 39% from 3. He's actually a plus rebounder by analytics. I'm okay with it. Like, I could not possibly knock the player. That's not what I'm doing. Now, he's a restricted free agent. Here are the rules on that. Just whenever you see a guy who's a restricted free agent, generally speaking, if they're going to bail, it's in a sign and trade. So let's assume Fontecchio is yours. Okay, second-year player, shooting much better this year than last year. He fills a role here. You gave up Kevin Knox, who cares, and a second-round pick this year. Now, there's your issue. The second-round pick would be, for all intents and purposes, pick 32. That's first-round pick. A late one, but it's first-round pick. Here's the issue. When you zoom out away from it and go, all right, so a bad team wanted to get a 28-year-old guy who can be a stretch 4, help this thing out, and he played on a, can I call the Jazz a decent team, a 500 team?
Yeah.
Like, they're not bad.
Yeah.
I can't knock that. But what if I told you the Pistons now don't have a second-round pick until 2027? Then add to the fact you still owe the Knicks a first-rounder in one of the next 3 years. That's where I need to see something else happen in order to fully go, okay, we're good here.
Yeah.
Monte Morris, Bogdanovich, Alec Burks. You got to get all those guys out of here to restock your picks cabinet. Why?
Because in all your deals, you've given away
That's
picks.
right. And if you're going to make a deal, what do we have to give up? Picks. So I can say I like the player, and I'm not, hey, look, I'm not saying tune in, Sunday night and Fontecchio is going to drop. No. Is he a player who's better for what you need than Isaiah Stewart? Is he better than what you need than the dead body of Danilo Gallinari or Mike Muscala or Kevin Knox? Yes. But I'm uncomfortable that we have allowed Troy Weaver to so deplete the war chest that even if I get rid of Weaver at the end of the year, which is my strong desire, the next guy will have nothing to work with.
Truly, you hear about the cupboards being empty this This is the epitome. This is the Wikipedia version of empty cupboards right here. I think it's almost malpractice that you let this man allow him to make deals, but every deal, and the Pistons gave away this pick as well, and they gave away this second-round pick, and you owe the Knicks.
That's all. Look, here's my thing. We can't just look at the deal in a vacuum. The deadline is tomorrow. Now, I would like to tell you that if I were able to ship out Morris, Bogdanovich, and Burks, I'm getting back no less than 4 second-round picks. I can replenish this thing. You might be able to get a first in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. The point I'm making is if you don't trade those players, then I can't get on board with stuff like this. I can't go into an offseason where I'm going to have to make a trade to acquire a player and have...
Or free agency.
But who? Realistically. Look at the free agent crop. So I just wanted to... Look, we'll do one segment on it. I don't hate the player. I'm not making fun of him. I actually feel terrible for the kid. Wait, what? Detroit? I thought Salt Lake was bad.
What did I do?
They're 6-44.
Can I apologize to somebody? I'm sorry.
Who did I offend?
I didn't mean to park in your spot.
But I don't hate it. I don't. But, I mean, just keep an eye on it. We got less than 24 hours.
I don't hate it, Mike. I'm very uncomfortable that the fact that it's Weaver doing this, because it's Weaver and he doesn't win these things. And it just seems like you're giving away the story. I don't know what your end game is. And maybe if I understood what they were trying to do, I could get on board.
I know.
But I don't. It's give away all your picks, put an extremely high value on your tradable pieces in order to win 6 games. None of this makes sense.
No, that's where I need to see the other shoe drop. Look, if they keep all these pieces around and they go into summer with no war chest, it really doesn't add up to me. What value does Alec Burks have to you? No, Alec Burks has a value to a team like the Sixers that need some outside shooting and a veteran, cheap. You know, like Xavier Tillman, the Celtics needed toughness, rebounding, an adult, injury insurance for Porzingis. That's Xavier Tillman to a T. I don't get what these players are doing here. So let's see. But, yeah, I'm not going to knock the player they got back. I mean, it's at least going to space the floor. It's at least going to give us someone new to watch. But, David, that's all I got for you.
See, but here's the thing, though. And I respect everything you're doing here because it's smart. It is the best thing you can do. But I'm going to give you 23 hours from now when the trade deadline has passed already, and I'm going to give you what the breaking news will be. The Pistons didn't make a move.
Don't say that.
That's what I believe. I believe they're not trading any of the individuals. They need to. Yes, they do, because you're right. They need some pieces, whether you're getting second-round picks, whatever. You need it. But they're not making a deal. I don't believe they will.
No, and what people don't understand is if you want to get involved in the moves that move the needle, all this cap space we have to hear about. If you want to trade for a player that moves the needle, the going rate in the NBA today is 3 to 4 first-round picks. You don't have it. The NBA has changed their rules. You can't be pickless anymore and just give away all your picks. It's a stagger. So this idea you would need to do pick swaps and or flat-out picks. I mean, Donovan Mitchell was, 3 or 4 picks. Rudy Gobert, 3 or 4 picks. And remember, 4 teams in basketball, the teams like the Spurs, the teams like Oklahoma City, I believe the Brooklyn Nets, 3 or 4 teams control the market, and they're inflating the price because those 4 teams control 35 first-round picks in the next 5 years. So I just fail to understand, okay, we brought in a player that I don't dislike, but he will not in any way, shape, or form result in huge win totals. If I'm going to get a player, the cap space is only a part of the story. Rico, you have to have picks. Even if you went and got LaVine, you were going to have to attach some picks. And I hate Zach LaVine. So just keep your eye on it. David, I hope your prediction's wrong. I can't tell you that it is. But the 3 names you have to get rid of, now that you have no second-round pick till 27, and you're short a first-round pick between now and 26, you got to get rid of Bogdanovich, Burks, Morris.
I guess what I'm hoping for is they become part of three-way deals and they become the dumping ground for picks where the players go to the different teams and you get all the picks.
Need to see it. So not knocking the deal, but in the framework from a franchise standpoint, I just don't get how this man has been allowed to trade 3 second-round picks in as many weeks when he shouldn't even have a job.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you got to break it down and say, yes, nice player they got. It will help a little bit, but the other stuff is just no picks. Come on now, Weaver. Jesus.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's just so frustrating because I know I yell all the time. I know I do.
Especially today.
But Rico hears me yelling over there because they gave up a second-round pick. And
the best is David under his breath in a disgusted tone using the Lord's name in vain. I
need him right now.
Roberto, is there any way for us to have that as a drop? Might be the most satisfying audio we've had on this station ever. That was tremendous.
But David, I understand because you don't understand. Like, I can put up with rebuilding if I know what you're trying to do. Fans, okay, it's going to be bad this year. Like you look at the Tigers, like I see what you're trying to do. So
you know what the problem is? This is the other problem. Now you're at the mercy of what the rest of the league believes Fontenecchio is worth. See, he'll be pursued in restricted free agency. So now the Pistons have to keep this guy. So if somebody goes to Fontenecchio and goes, all right, you're a regular beef stew over here, and they sign you to 4 at 63, that's what you're paying this guy. So just understand, this isn't a one-night stand. This ain't a rental. You're marrying this guy. This is happening.
And you say cap space gone.
Well, no, David, they talked about their cap space. What I'm saying is people have to view this as a part of the cap space. This, Cade's extension, and maybe Tobias Harris at 32 years old. There's your cap space. So what did it get us? 27 wins? Maybe? That's everything they do I grade out on. Does this change the paradigm? Does this change the conversation organizationally? So hope you heard the words coming out of my mouth. I'm not anti-player here. But if some other team gets stupid, like when the Kings tried to sign Zach LaVine to a crazy deal, and then the Bulls decided we matched it. Like if somebody comes in at 4 for 80 for Fontenecchio,
just to spite you,
you have to match it. All right. We can do some ticket texts. We can get a little football today, maybe a little Super Bowl. By the numbers. Roberto also morphing into Ryan Day by the day with his addiction to hair dye in his beard.
Addiction to hair dye.
It is. It's something. Tell him about it, Rico.
All right. Close your eyes. Well, not you driving, but for the rest of you, close your eyes and imagine a world where you can stream all your favorite entertainment easier than ever. Now, open them. You're already in that world. A world of Xfinity 10G network, a network made for streaming all your favorites. Forget about the hassle. With reliable connection, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy all the shows, movies, or live sports that you love. Look, we know you're using your ears right now, but hopefully we've opened your eyes to the fact that the best way to stream is on Xfinity 10G network. That's how I was watching the game last night. Introducing the best value in live TV and streaming on the best network with Xfinity Internet and Now TV. And now through March 21st, get Xfinity Internet for $20 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, add Now TV with Peacock Premium, a $5.99 a month value. It's included at no extra cost for just $20 a month. Switch today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with a stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Now TV requires Xfinity Internet. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra after promo. Regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Stream Top Chef on Peacock.
Sorry, everybody. Apologies. Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. They have supported Detroit as a proud partner of the Lions Radio Network. They want to honor the best season in 32 years with a hell of a good deal. The end of February, you mentioned 97 won the ticket. You get half off the installation of a high-efficiency furnace or whole home generator from Generac. That's right, half off the installation. Mastercraft, supporting Detroit for over 40 years. Visit mastercraftheating.com. All right, let's go to David on the ticket text.
The Pistons should be dissolved and the franchise ends with the owner getting nothing. I cannot believe this franchise is like this.
I know. Guys, we got to move past it. I know. And I know we had our fun with the losing streak and did our thing. Guys, this marks the last time you'll hear about the Pistons, probably until draft night. All right, the trade deadline. This is it. Let me see what Weaver produces. I'll give you my feedback on it. That's it. Fontenecchio's not a bad player. He's a hell of a lot better than some of the garbage you've been putting out there for big minutes. But what I don't like is you're a bad team that has no draft capital. No second rounders till 27, and you're down a first-round pick in the next 3 years. Got to give one to the Knicks. I need Burks, Morris, and Bogdanovich out of here. Go ahead, David.
The Detroit Pistons have plunged into the trade draft abyss. Weaver is really bad, and I love it. Continue to expose what he's doing wrong. Someone else texting in and says Pistons should just sell and keep all of their picks. Cade and Duran would be the only two I would not trade from this roster.
If you had a new GM, that might be the direction they go. But by the fact that Tunes is the driving cat, a.k.a. Weaver, is still employed, you can't do that. You get yourself into a weird spot. Because the job of the general manager, you're supposed to act at the behest of the franchise. What Troy Weaver's doing is covering his own ass. A lot of GMs in bad situations and bad teams in the NBA, they are operating to keep their contract. They're not operating and doing what really needs to happen.
No, you saw that, different sport, but you saw that with Bob Quinn with the Lions. Tried to save his job rather than do what was best for the team.
Correct.
Mike, don't forget Troy Weaver could re-sign this player just like he did Marvin Bagley, and he's going to bid against himself if he does so.
No, he won't. He'll bid against the rest of the league because he's a restricted free agent, which I just got done explaining last segment. Please attempt to listen. Please.
I agree with you guys about the Pistons. Good player in the trade, but he keeps giving up all the picks. Can't believe they keep letting Weaver make these moves.
And again, if he replenishes the stockpile by getting rid of these seemingly useless veterans, then it's a different conversation. But the thing I can't wrap my mind around is that Troy Weaver is going to be here to execute another draft and utilize the better part of $65 million in cap space. That's the unbelievable part to me. Oh, also, if you want to feel old today, do you know what today is the 20th anniversary of, Kenny Cott? No. Big moment in Detroit sports. Big
20
moment.
years ago?
20 years ago today.
2004.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Pistons related?
Yes, it is.
What?
20 years ago today, the Detroit Pistons acquired Rasheed Wallace.
Oh, that was going to be my guess, Rasheed Wallace.
All right, Rico trivia question. Can you name the team that Rasheed played one night for in between his days in Portland to then becoming a Detroit Piston? It was a grand opening, grand closing.
It was. One night. That jersey is one of the rarest jerseys around.
No, of course I can't.
The Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, okay.
Of
that
course.
was also going to be my guess.
That was also going to be your guess. I love it.
Tremendous.
Oh, my God.
David, go ahead, buddy.
Someone says, I consider myself a tried and true Pistons fan. I truly don't know what to look forward to with this team. I don't believe he'll make a move tomorrow, which means we are screwed.
Let me see it. Can we just, please. If he makes 3 deals and brings us 5 draft picks, I will be just fine with what went down here. I'll still never understand how he's here. But it's not about Fontenecchio. That's fine. You are fine enough playing him 20 minutes a night here. He's better than what you had. But you're signing him. Make no mistake about it.
It's about looking in your cupboard to see if you have something to eat. And right now, you have nothing. You are starving. You are poor.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
You know, David,
That's
David,
what it is.
David, this day really ended for you when you opened up and saw a bag of soft chips. You were upset at the quality of your tortilla chips, and you have just been a real ass ever since.
I mean, did I say something wrong here? The cupboard is bare.
I know, but David, you are not. You are angry. You are having a bad day today.
I've been great today.
But
I don't know,
started
but
with
I
those
feel
chips.
wonderful. You can tell Kenny, I haven't yelled once in this room.
It really did start with those chips.
Right. Kenny's showing us the believability of that statement.
He's been yelling in here all week. What do you mean?
Right.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yes, you have.
Give me the ticket text and we'll get the Super Bowl by the numbers.
The
please.
NBA needs to step in and do something with the Pistons. They can't continue to allow this franchise to fall down more and more.
All right, hold on. Rico, I think it's fair. Can I offer a PSA on behalf of Rico Beard and myself?
Yep, go for it.
Guys, I understand how easy it is to make fun of the Pistons, and I understand I am guilty of doing that very thing, but not every situation is that the response. Look, they didn't make a bad trade on surface. Yes, the second-round pick means you only have one pick this draft. That's bad. But don't act like you even know who Kevin Knox is. Kevin Knox could deliver a pizza to your house. You wouldn't know who he is. And this Porchita kid, I don't know who he is. It's a guy they drafted and stashed in Europe. You acquired a guy that makes you better because it provides the one thing you don't have, shooting. He's 28. He's an RFA. You clearly have designs on keeping him. I can't sit here as a radio host and mock that. That would be dishonest of me.
Because getting that player actually did make you better.
Right. Now, if you want to say, I am very afraid that we have no second rounders till 27 and it greatly limits our ability to make trades and finalize deals, you're right. And we're short a first round pick. Right. Let me see if we're in that situation tomorrow. And if by the end of business tomorrow at the trade deadline, you have not shipped out all three of Monte Morris, Alec Burks, and Bogdanovich, then you can ask more questions. But obviously they suck. Obviously we don't like the owner. I know, but guys, like you have to view, we're talking about a trade on a Wednesday afternoon. I can't just be like, well, who cares? Team blows. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We've had our fun, believe me. But Jesus, what do you want me to do? You want the team to cease operations?
Some do.
Well, I wouldn't be against it if I could get a new team.
But that's not going to happen.
Exactly. So I have to take the moves they make, and for the 10 people who care, spend a segment explaining it.
They're just being emotional. I get it. It's like I said last. It's the Ford sell the team. It's, do this. You're emotional, right? Not you, but people are emotional because there's pride in the Pistons, but it seems like the Pistons don't have pride in themselves.
Oh, yeah, you're very right. Very true. Somebody's emotional saying, and she still can't cover Big Shot Bob.
Okay.
Emotion all over the place with these Pistons.
Yeah,
fans.
you gotta let it go now. Come on. Yes, it cost you a second championship.
And then maybe they just don't understand.
What?
How many second-round picks make an impact on an NBA roster in the last 5 years? I think he doesn't really understand.
You're not getting that they are currency. They're required. Like, in order to complete this Marvin Bagley mistake, you had to put 2 second-round picks in the deal.
So, if you had, let's just say you had 3 second-round picks, and there was somebody you wanted in the first round, you can
move up and get them.
Yeah.
Guys, they're currency. I'm not sitting here telling you that with your second-round pick, you're going to find Draymond Green, that you're going to find Gilbert Arenas. Like, those are rare. I understand that. But you need capital in order to do business.
Think of them as Disney bucks. Only works in Walt Disney World, but when you're there, they're worth a lot. Outside of Disney World, worthless.
Noted. David, one more, and we will get to Super Bowl by the number.
Yeah, this one's actually for Kenny. They want to give you another option to watch. They said when you watch Office Space, then watch Half Baked.
You've never seen Half Baked?
I have seen it. It's been like background noise a couple of times. I've never actually sat through the whole thing, though. Which is more important that I watch? Probably Office Space.
Office Space.
Okay.
Because it fits your general approach to work very well.
I feel like that's an insult. Thank you.
It's not. Kenny, you got to let go of that. Not everything is an insult. We need to sit down on the couch and have a conversation because I tell you, you'd be like, Kenny, I really like your shirt. I think you're effing with me. I'm like,
yeah, yep. You brought it up. Yeah.
No, I've fallen for the rake too many times. I'm not going to do it again.
Right?
You'll enjoy it.
248-539-9797. We'll get more of your calls. Let's get a little football today next, 97.1. Now, Roberto, or shall I say Blackbeard, how come you haven't graced us with your presence?
Nope. I'm not doing this.
because I am taking over the Super Bowl by the numbers today.
Wait a minute. Where is the newly minted jet black Roberto Beauchene? Super Bowl by the numbers and hair dye.
The Blackbeard is taking a break today.
Sponsored by Just for Men.
I mean, like we wouldn't notice. My goodness.
Yeah, I noticed it last week. He thought
I
he was
did, but I thought it was like, okay, a little subtlety. Okay, but now it's
he
like
went Brian Wilson.
Right.
And I ain't talking about the Beach Boy. Go ahead.
So let's get into the game a little bit with these numbers. I'm going to give you a number. You don't have to guess it. I will just talk about it. First number will be 80 million. 80 million is the number that Jawan Taylor received in the offseason. KC signed him for a 4-year, $80 million contract. Here's the problem for KC.
He's taking the most penalties in football.
Taylor has allowed 5 sacks, 47 pressures, while committing 20 penalties, which is overwhelmingly.
And got away with about 17 more that weren't called week 1 against the Lions when he lined up offside.
The timing was off just a touch. But yeah,
by the numbers.
What's important about the number, of course, we talked about the penalties, but it's what Bosa has already done. We know he moves around on the line, but he's already set it up this week with the quote, the Chiefs tackles had a lot of penalties this year.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of holding, so he's setting it up for the game.
By the number.
You know what? And I did realize, I heard that. They are basically telling the referees, watch out for this. They cheat. They are offside. They hold. They're not that good, so please throw the flag. So I thought it was a good game.
Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
A little bit of, reffing in the media. Go ahead, David. By the number.
The next number is 27. 27 is
27.
Okay.
You
don't have to guess it.
I was about to say guys returning back to the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay.
The Chiefs' run defense ranks 27th in the NFL, while San Fran finished second in rushing efficiency. You should be happy as a 49er fan. That will help you in this game.
Listen, as far as the game goes, and Friday will be our, fun preview, everything points to the Niners except one thing.
Quarterback.
They got Michael Jordan over there. Mm-hmm. And you bet against Mahomes as a dog, you go broke. So, by the numbers, everything would suggest the Niners.
Right. It suggests to me that Christian McCaffrey is your Super Bowl MVP. Now, here's what I'll say. Even when they were down to the Lions, 17, they stuck to the game plan. They didn't abandon it. They didn't say, we're going to go out here and just play 7-on-7 football. They ran the ball, which tells me no matter what, they're going to keep running until McCaffrey finally pops one.
I am so glad, Mike, you mentioned Michael Jordan on the other side there for Kansas City, because the next number is 0. Patrick Mahomes hasn't had one turnover-worthy play in the playoffs.
So he's overdue.
Not that he hasn't turned the ball over, not a worthy play that could have been a turnover. Nothing in this game. Here's interesting, though, on the other side. The 49ers were tied for 5th in takeaways this season, tied for 1st in forcing interceptions. Something has to give, doesn't it?
Yes. The Niners takeaways, it's something because they don't blitz a lot.
Correct.
No, they bait you.
And they don't change up coverages a lot. They'll do some. But yet, it's their efficiency, and it is this turnover creation. And you're facing a quarterback who, he ain't going to do that.
Yeah. You think it's open, but it's not, and all of a sudden there's Greenlaw snatching it out the air.
Can I offer you something by the numbers? 5,984. Anybody know what 5,984 would mean? Let me just offer it.
Passing yards?
No, that is the distance between Tokyo and Las Vegas with which Taylor Swift will be flying to this game to see her boyfriend. And according to certain media reports today, not me, certain reports today, she may be asking the NFL to pay for that flight. You imagine you're a billionaire and you want a free flight, huh?
Isn't that how you become a billionaire? You don't pay for nothing.
I'm pretty sure it'd be selling about 1 billion records, but okay.
Because I guess she realizes, guys, if you just show me landing,
look what I've done for you.
People are going to watch that. If you show me getting into the limo, getting to the game, people will watch your pregame show because there will be a lot of folks, eyeballs glued. Oh my gosh, she's here. She's here. So, but I did see she wants people to stop tracking her flights.
She's not even that good. I just don't get it.
Oh my God, who said that?
I'm not mad about it.
That's
don't.
Kenobi Cott.
That's Kenobi Cott. He does not represent the rest of this show. Hey, what's the number 7 represent? By the numbers.
However many seconds it's going to take for someone to rip Kenny for what he just said.
Close. The amount of vials of Just for Men Roberto has injected into his face. By the numbers. David, more Super Bowl by the numbers, please.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
His beard looks like the dude from Star Trek.
Oh.
Look at that thing.
Jonathan Frakes.
Happy 21st birthday, Roberto. David, please.
Oh, my gosh.
By the numbers.
This is probably a strength on strength here. The number is 12 and 1. 12 represents Kansas City has blitzed the 12th highest in the league, and Purdy ranks number 1 in both EPA per pass play and success rate when it comes to being blitzed.
Oh,
strength
Rico.
on strength. Another one, what gives?
Yeah, I think he's thrown like 14 touchdowns when blitzed.
Correct.
By the number. Everything points to the Niners except Babe Ruth on the other side.
See, for me, you're right. I would just make sure you're double team Kelsey with your best corner. I'm not worried about any of the receivers.
You mean future Detroit Lion L'Jarius Sneed? By the numbers. David.
And I will finish it. with this number because this may not look good for you, Rico.
What's the number?
15.6.
Average passing yards per play.
Nope. The Chiefs' defense has allowed just 15.6 points per game through 20 games this season. That's the lowest average for any Chiefs defense under Andy Reid since
The entire
2013.
Entire season.
All their games. You have a great offense here, but they seem to have a great defense.
Yeah, I mean, they jump ahead and they just squeeze you and they force you to go one-dimensional.
Also, quick update, Super Bowl, by the numbers, the number 1. That would be the amount of people trapped on top of the sphere right now because some idiot has climbed up on that thing and doesn't know how to get down.
How?
I don't know.
By the number.
I mean, the thought process to climb the sphere, 7 tubes of Just for Men in your beer.
Can't you just leave him up there?
No, you can't. He'll roast up there. He'll be like a rotisserie chicken.
You know,
it's getting hot, man. It's getting to the middle of the day. It will heat up very soon.
And that is the Super Bowl by the numbers. Now, Roberto, or shall I say Blackbeard, how come you haven't graced us with your presence?
Nope. I'm not doing it.
because I am taking over the Super Bowl by the numbers today.
Wait a minute. Where is the newly minted jet black Roberto Beauchene? Super Bowl by the numbers and hair dye.
The Blackbeard is taking a break today.
Sponsored by Just for Men.
I mean, like we wouldn't notice. My goodness.
Yeah, I noticed it last week. He thought
I
he was
did, but I thought it was like, okay, a little subtlety. Okay, but now it's
he
like
went Brian Wilson.
Right.
And I ain't talking about the Beach Boy. Go ahead.
So let's get into the game a little bit with these numbers. I'm going to give you a number. You don't have to guess it. I will just talk about it. First number will be 80 million. 80 million is the number that Jawan Taylor received in the offseason. KC signed him for a 4-year, $80 million contract. Here's the problem for KC.
He's taking the most penalties in football.
Taylor has allowed 5 sacks, 47 pressures, while committing 20 penalties, which is overwhelmingly.
And got away with about 17 more that weren't called week 1 against the Lions when he lined up offside.
The timing was off just a touch, but yeah.
By the numbers.
What's important about the number, of course, we talked about the penalties, but it's what Bosa has already done. We know he moves around on the line, but he's already set it up this week with the quote, the Chiefs tackles had a lot of penalties this year.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of holding, so he's setting it up for the game.
By the number.
You know what? And I did realize, I heard that. They are basically telling the referees, watch out for this. They cheat. They are offside. They hold. They're not that good, so please throw the flag. So I thought it was a good game.
Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
A little bit of, reffing in the media. Go ahead, David. By the number.
The next number is 27. 27 is
27.
Okay.
You
don't have to guess it.
I was about to say guys returning back to the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay.
The Chiefs' run defense ranks 27th in the NFL, while San Fran finished second in rushing efficiency. You should be happy as a 49er fan. That will help you in this game.
Listen, as far as the game goes, and Friday will be our, fun preview, everything points to the Niners except one thing.
Quarterback.
They got Michael Jordan over there. Mm-hmm. And you bet against Mahomes as a dog, you go broke. So, by the numbers, everything would suggest the Niners.
Right. It suggests to me that Christian McCaffrey is your Super Bowl MVP.
It's very simple.
Now, here's what I'll say. Even when they were down to the Lions, 17, they stuck to the game plan. They didn't abandon it. They didn't say, we're going to go out here and just play 7-on-7 football. They ran the ball, which tells me no matter what, they're going to keep running and keep running until McCaffrey finally pops.
They're going to give you the top in quality craftsmanship.
I am so glad, Mike,
Like
you
I said,
mentioned
you'll find
Michael Jordan on the other side there
Victor's.
for Kansas
But
City.
what you won't find
because
is
the next
anyone
number
better.
is
50-year
0.
guarantee on that roof.
Patrick
which
Mahomes
means
hasn't
you
had
don't ever have to
one
replace it again.
turnover-worthy
They
play
offer it on
in the
every roof they
playoffs.
install. Holy.
So he's overdue.
Not that he hasn't turned the ball over. Not a worthy play
fixes it
that
for
could have
free,
been a turnover.
no
Nothing
questions
in this
asked.
game.
That's
Here's
how
interesting,
confident
though,
they
on the
are in
other
their work.
side.
All you need to
The
do,
49ers were
schedule
tied for
free
5th
21-point
in
video
takeaways this
inspections today,
season,
734,
tied for 1st in forcing
773,
interceptions.
1100. That's
Something has to
734.
give, doesn't it?
773-1100
Yes.
or set
The
that
Niners
appointment at Vickers.com.
takeaways,
That's
it's something because they don't
Vickers.com.
blitz a
It is
lot.
Vickers, home
Correct.
solution.
They bait you.
And they don't change up coverages a lot. They'll do some. But yet, it's their efficiency and it is this turnover creation. And you're facing a quarterback who, well, he ain't going to do that.
Yeah. You think it's open, but it's not, and all of a sudden there's Greenlaw snatching it out the air.
Can I offer you something by the numbers? 5,984. Anybody know what 5,984 would mean? Let me just offer it.
Passing yards.
No, that is the distance between Tokyo and Las Vegas with which Taylor Swift will be flying to this game to see her boyfriend. And according to certain media reports today, not me, certain reports today, she may be asking the NFL to pay for that flight. You imagine you're a billionaire and you want a free flight, huh?
Isn't that how you become a billionaire? You don't pay for nothing.
I'm pretty sure it'd be selling about 1 billion records, but okay.
Because I guess she realizes, guys, if you just show me landing,
look what I've done for you.
People are going to watch that. If you show me getting into the limo, getting to the game, people will watch your pregame show because there will be a lot of folks, eyeballs glued. Oh my gosh, she's here. She's here. So, but I did see she wants people to stop tracking her flights.
She's not even that good. I just don't get it.
Oh my God, who said that?
I'm not mad about it.
That's
That's
Kenobi Cott.
That's Kenobi Cott. He does not represent the rest of this show. Hey, what's the number 7 represent? By the numbers.
However many seconds it's going to take for someone to rip Kenny for what he just said.
Close. The amount of vials of Just for Men Roberto has injected into his face. By the numbers. David, more Super Bowl by the numbers, please.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
His beard looks like the dude from Star Trek.
Oh.
Look at that thing.
Jonathan Frakes.
Happy 21st birthday, Roberto. David, please.
Oh, my gosh.
By the numbers.
This is probably a strength on strength here. The number is 12 and 1. 12 represents Kansas City has blitzed the 12th highest in the league, and Purdy ranks number 1 in both EPA per pass play and success rate when it comes to being blitzed.
Oh,
Strength
Rico.
on strength. Another one, what gives?
Yeah, I think he's thrown like 14 touchdowns when blitzed.
Correct.
By the numbers. Everything points to the Niners except Babe Ruth on the other side.
See, for me, you're right. I would just make sure you're double team Kelsey with your best corner. I'm not worried about any of the receivers.
You mean future Detroit Lion L'Jarius Sneed? By the numbers. David.
And I will finish it with this number because this may not look good for you, Rico.
What's the number?
15.6.
Average passing yards per play.
Nope. The Chiefs' defense has allowed just 15.6 points per game through 20 games this season. That's the lowest average for any Chiefs defense under Andy Reid since
The entire
2013.
Entire season.
All their games. You have a great offense here, but they seem to have a great defense.
Yeah, I mean, they jump ahead and they just squeeze you and they force you to go one-dimensional.
Also, quick update, Super Bowl. By the numbers, the number 1. That would be the amount of people trapped on top of the sphere right now because some idiot has climbed up on that thing and doesn't know how to get down.
How?
I don't know.
By the number.
I mean, the thought process to climb the sphere,
7 tubes of Just for Men in your beard.
Can't you just leave him up there?
No, you can't. He'll roast up there. It'll be like a rotisserie chicken.
You know?
It's
happens.
getting hot, man. It's getting to the middle of the day. It will heat up very soon.
And that is the Super Bowl by the numbers. Now, Roberto, or shall I say Blackbeard, how come you haven't graced us? All right, David, first things first, house cleaning. Odyssey.com rewind. If you can believe it, we did open up the show with what is the appropriate way to usher a legend out? How much patience should you have? Because Michigan State basketball is totally irrelevant. It's largely ass. We are the Red Wings, Ken Holland, the late years. Got to do it for the streak, y'all. Except it's awful to watch. It's headed nowhere.
Right. And you're looking like the Pistons attendance streak. Where
yes.
But it's empty. No. Those seats are sold. So we're counting that.
So Odyssey.com rewind, because we talked about it a lot. And even if you're not a college hoops fan, it's about you have a legendary coach. How much patience should you have? Rico and I are at varying degrees, which I'm sure you can imagine. So you can go get that. We talked a little bit. The Pistons made one move, and while we were doing Super Bowl by the numbers, they've made another. So this is why I didn't pan what they did. I want to wait to see. And again, I don't like Troy Weaver. His existence offends me. He should not be gainfully employed to run a basketball team. But I have to deal in reality. He ain't getting fired right now. So they made the move for Fontenecchio. Did I like giving up a high second-round pick? No. Do I like not having any seconds till 27? No. Do I like the fact that the Knicks hold a pick over us? No. I get terrified that you don't have much talent and you don't have many assets. Oh, and you're already the worst team in the league. Yeah, it's scary. But they've now made another move. And like I said, there are 3 guys. Monte Morris, Alec Burks, and yes, Bogdanovich. Now they've traded Monte Morris to the Timberwolves. What did we get, David? Tell me there's picks here.
The Pistons have received Shake Milton, Troy Brown, and a 2030 second-round pick.
2030?
Yes.
2030?
Yes.
Wait, that's the second-round pick?
2030?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, my son will be in college.
Okay.
It's a long time.
So that's closer to being angry. One step.
I'm trying to think. So what is that, like a 5th grader?
Rico.
Yes. In fact, it is.
That's a 5th grader.
I will just wait to see what else they get.
Kenny just, yeah.
I am
grader.
one step closer to being angry. Wow. Okay. And if you want our thoughts on the Fontenecchio deal, I didn't pan it. You won't be scared. I don't like what they're giving up and what they're doing. I do like the player. I got to see what he signs for. You know, if somebody walks in here and pays him like beef stew, that's a bad deal. But he's restricted. You have to sign him. What? Go ahead, David. Share the laughter.
No, we're all just trying to figure out how old we'll be in 6 years, and when this second-round pick actually becomes something.
Like, I never get angry when you trade for first-round picks that are 4, 5, 6 years down the line, because inevitably those end up working out for you. But when it's a second-round pick and I got to wait 6 years for it to convey, I mean, you I was about to say something foul. The Timberwolves may as well have done something else for you and called it even. I mean, yeah, it may as well have called you a lady of the night. You would have been better off than a pick 6 years from now.
No, 6 years from now. It'll appreciate in value. It's like Bitcoin.
Yeah. The Detroit Pistons have traded Monte Morris to the Timberwolves for a bag of Ripple.
Somebody says, TS in traffic says, a 20-30 second-round pick, that's 2 GMs away.
Oh, my God.
Someone else says, I'll be dead in 6 years. Oh, wow.
Let's hope not, but I get what you're saying.
Hey, we just got a 5th grader, y'all, from Ron.
Okay, all right. But the deadline is tomorrow. I mean, isn't it sad, though, when you really think about it? Today's the 20th anniversary of acquiring Sheed and forever cementing a culture here and bringing a championship here and this big personality and all-star
don't
player.
lie. Yeah.
20 years later, cutscene, Monte Morris for bag of Ethereum. Simone Fontanecchio. It doesn't quite move the needle the same way that Rasheed Wallace did. Yes, David.
Well, I did just talk to someone earlier during the break, and they said they didn't want to see Monty go. So
what?
There's that.
Who said that?
Somebody in that works here.
No, just say no, David.
Let's just say they work in sales. So,
Well, then automatically I know they know nothing.
There you go. I hate to see him go. They said.
Try getting your copy points right. All right, let's keep it moving.
Penalty box, 30 seconds. Go ahead, David.
David, I think your drop is very appropriate right here. Troy Weaver's made a pastor take the Lord's name in vain. My goodness.
Someone's asking, though, they're saying, but I thought we needed draft capital. Isn't it okay to get the 2nd round pick?
No, it's okay. You just prefer to have it before your Nona dies. Acquiring a pick 6 years down the line, it is really hard to justify unless it's a 1st round pick. It has no value.
2 presidents away.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Wow. You're correct.
Kenny Cott wins. Go ahead, David.
The Lions will have won a Super Bowl by the time the 23rd. No, I don't think so.
No, hold on. No, stop. That's
right,
actually very plausible.
All right.
You want me to get the
You're
recruiting rankings for that?
Yeah.
2030.
Please do, Rico.
That's unbelievable.
Can we get the draft comparisons?
NBA draft comp, John Collins.
Who do you think Troy will be targeting in the 2nd round of the 2030 draft? That is from Sean in St. Clair Shores.
I don't know. Too many janitors that make draft picks. There's no way. You did. You acquired something you will never get to use.
The trade moved the needle, guys. Unfortunately, it moved it in the wrong direction.
No, stop it. Come on. I will wait to see. There are rumors swirling. Alec Burks could be headed to the Knicks. He played for Tom Thibodeau. Let's see what you get. Bogdanovich would be the one. Guys, I don't know, man. I know I'm paid to talk. Rico's paid to talk. I try to do a good job of just always having an opinion on stuff and back it up. Guys, I'm out of words with the Pistons. I don't know what to say. They're 6-43. They don't have talent. They don't have assets. The war chest is next to empty. And you're restocking it with a 2030 2nd round pick. What do you want me to say, guys?
Well, I could say this. Let me say this, because we use the F word on this show. Fair. And I want to say this. I am sorry, Troy. You traded one of the guys that I said you wouldn't trade. So at least you did that.
No, but it is.
Thank you.
But think about the disastrous offseason Troy Weaver had. You basically played the role of relationship facilitator to the Nets so they could sign Cam Johnson because you took the dead body of Joe Harris. Dude just doesn't do anything.
That's somebody you could have used.
You signed Monte Morris. He saw what a mess this was and you know what? Yeah, I'll be back 2 weeks before the deadline with the worst quad injury in history. You just traded him. You paid Marvin Bagley and then had to bribe someone to take him with 2 2nd-round picks. Mm-hmm. Think about the offseason this guy had. Oh, and your owner went above your head and baited the most expensive coach in league history. One problem. Pretty sure he doesn't want the job, yet he's here. It's really hard to work your way around. Oh, and also drafted guy who has the same shooting percentage from 3 as Stevie Wonder, Asur Thompson.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
Fantastic.
Well, I got to read this text. Omar in Dearborn Heights says, not sure why you guys are complaining. I just realized if I play my cards right, the Pistons just traded for my son.
David, where any of your kids? Where are they?
It's possible.
Okay.
They don't like the sport, but he could be a late bloomer.
Do we need? I'm about to say, do we need to move him up in eligibility or?
No, we're good. We're right there at that line. Yeah, we're good.
Well, which family are we talking about?
Oh, come on.
You
now.
did once say you had 9 kids. That's your words.
It's not my fault you played a role of radio, Nick Cannon. I can't keep up with your happenings. Why don't I just tell you about John
David
Jansen?
Hall, Xavier Tillman.
High shooting percentages, that's for sure. New Year's resolution, you want to lose a few lbs, the John Jansen Weight Loss Club. 20 pounds in just 30 days, and whether the resolution's to lose 10 or 100, Ideal U has you covered. John lost 10 pounds in 10 days, 63 overall. They want to get you on that same course for success, idealu.us. Sign up for the free body composition analysis. That's $150 value for free, and they will get you on the very same plan they helped John with. 20, 30 pounds, could be in 30 days. Go to idealu.us. That's idealu.us.
Brought to you by North Bloomfield Properties. The NBA trade deadline is still 22 hours away, but the Pistons got a head start on things Wednesday afternoon. Minutes ago, Detroit trading Monte Morris to Minnesota in exchange for Shake Milton, Troy Brown Jr., and a second-rounder. Earlier today, the Pistons dealt for Utah's Simone Fontecchio. The 28-year-old second-year wing is shooting 39.1% from three, which Locked On Pistons' Ku Kahil says is something that's been missing from Detroit's offense for a while. Fontecchio is a restricted free agent this summer. Detroit gave up Kevin Knox, a second-rounder, and the rights to Italian developmental player Gabriel Procida to get him. The Pistons, by the way, kick off a 5-game West Coast road trip tonight against the Kings. You can hear that right here on 97.1, starting at 9:35. And Nick Saban is officially joining ESPN. The newly retired college coach will be part of College Game Day's cast. He'll also make appearances on the SEC Network and contribute to ESPN's NFL draft coverage. At the Corewell Health Update Desk, I'm Orson Welles. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
All right. I have a question, and it applies to all fans and all sports. And it's really, you know what, I need advice. And I have to go outside the family for it because Rico's too close to it. David's just downright spiteful. But it doesn't matter if you're a hockey fan, football, college pro, you name it. I have a situation that I'm struggling to deal with. And it is the following. How much patience should I have with a legend? How much grace should I show? How much bleep should I put up with? See, the legend in question, I don't need you to care about the team I care about. The person I'm talking about is Tom Izzo. Michigan State basketball is totally irrelevant. Fourth straight year. It's just nonsense. It's a bad product. They are no threat to win the conference or national title. And it is a poorly constructed roster. It's a coach who refused to use the portal. It's a coach who recruited freshmen who cannot play, kept the wrong people around, didn't go get the right people. I really don't care. Every guy on that team's making good money. And yet, I'm looking at a dude who should be driving a tractor playing 20 minutes a night. Shout out Bob Cooper. The point I'm making
Carson.
It doesn't matter. It could be Gary Cooper in a coffin. You get the same thing. The point I'm making is, I'm told, but, he's a legend. I'm told, certain people will tell you he gets to stay as long as he wants. I can only tell you I have never subscribed to that. You are graded upon what you do, not what you've done. And what you've done buys you a certain amount of time. That the body of work is so good that at the first sign of adversity, of course you don't bail. But the way I view it now, and this will be the controversial portion of this, 4 years in today's sport is the better part of 10 years of yesteryear. The sport moves at lightning pace. Programs can be built and crumble in a 4-year span. Programs can, look, if UConn wins a national title this year, which they have every right to think they can, especially with Klingon back, their starting center. You go back to back, you win 3 titles in a 7-year, 8-year span.
You're Villanova.
Right. So, and look how fast Villanova went from cat's ass to just ass. 4 years, Michigan State basketball will lose north of 50 games. I find the product unacceptable. Last night, they went on the road, complete collapse. Tom didn't do a good job on the sidelines. Players didn't do a good job on the court. The whole product's reprehensible to me. But how much patience should I have? Now, I have arrived at a point at the end of this 4-year clown car. I'm done. It used to be, shout out Rico Beard on this, 4 years, I went to a Final Four. Every 4 years, death, taxes, and MSU putting a banner up. Now, I feel like Kenny The Kenny Holland era. Just doing it for the streak, man. What streak? Like being some 11 seed is fun?
Because he's now the number one name up there since Kansas got hit with the probation.
And since Gonzaga probably won't make the tourney this year.
Yeah.
So look, I want advice. Whether you're a hockey fan, basketball fan, baseball, how much time and patience am I supposed to afford a legend? Because I'm out of it.
I think it's a personal decision, Mike. It's how much equity has that legend built up with you? How much joy did that legend bring you? So that's why for some people, they're ready to move on, and other people are like, well, wait. But I remember, and then they start bringing up all the times. Remember when you counted them out years ago, and then they rose up and they went to the Final Four? It could happen here. You know, it's January, February, Izzo, and this is where his legend comes in. It's how much equity has that person built up with you? And when you look at this, I think what you said was very true. The game has changed in 4 years, because 4 years ago, there was no NIL. The portal wasn't like this. You could transfer, but you had to have a good reason to transfer, or you had to sit out a year. Now you can move players around, so it's free agency. You know what? We need an athletic big man. Let's go find the best one at a smaller school, like you did with Tyson Walker. And you went to Northeastern, got him, and he's flourishing. I don't know if this is what he wants to do. If he was actively going out there and getting transfers, but it was failing because of bad scouting, it shows me that he's willing to change. He's just got to get better scouts. He did go get transfers. He got Joey Hauser. He got Tyson Walker, and then all of a sudden he stopped. That's where the problem is, because
it's a bad franchise. If I view it like a pro franchise, think about what you just said. And again, guys, this is not a Michigan State basketball topic. This is a sports topic, because at one point or another, you've had to usher a legend out. What Rico just said, though, this is specific to MSU, is they're a bad franchise. You just said they need new scouts. They need new front office people. They need new staff. Who's in control of all of the things that you just talked about?
Izzo.
You're damn right. It is at his feet. I don't subscribe to just, hey, look, you could be the greatest radio host in the history of the earth. You start to have bad ratings books, you don't get to stay as long as you want. You're taken out to pasture.
But Mike, here's, as you would like to say, I'm going to say the quiet part out loud.
Okay.
Because for a lot of people who don't want Izzo to go, you don't want that rebuild season. If you don't believe me, Michigan football is about to go through that right now, where Harbaugh's gone. You got a new coach, and now you got to kind of go through the weeds, because you don't know what's going to happen and how long will it take to get back there, because you picked the wrong coach, and congratulations, you just got your own.
But we went through it before. Because we had to push a legend out. It was time for Lloyd Carr to go. Everyone was passing us by,
right,
especially Ohio State. Offensively, everyone was so far
How
from
did
where
that
we
work
were.
out for Michigan?
I get that. And I understand some people will be leery to let a legend go. But
What did
when
it
they're
take,
not
15
doing
years?
when they're not doing things that today's game is doing.
Okay, but hold on.
No, real quick. And that's what I'm saying. But I think for some people, when you look at that saying, man, ooh, if we get this wrong, 15 years and we could be irrelevant, or we just dance with the devil that we know, and at least we'll go to the tournament and have a chance.
So here's a fun exercise. If his name wasn't Tom Izzo, he'd be fired. You go to Michigan State and lose 13 games a year, and your name is not Tom Izzo? You don't make any meaningful tournament runs?
Yeah, if the next coach did that,
Just like they tried to run Tom out his first 2 years because he made the NIT, and he wasn't Judd Heathcote. It was Tom Fizzo, right? Mm-hmm. The point I'm making to you is, if you view MSU as a blue blood, like you view the Red Wings as a blue blood iconic franchise, like, hey, Dan Campbell's starting to establish the Detroit Lions, Tom Izzo in a 4-year span is going to lose north of 50 games at MSU. 50! They're a 500 team in the Big Ten. His successor would be fired. So it is not wrong for me to be tired of this.
I can't argue that. But like I said, it goes back to how much equity have you built up, how much goodwill. And if your successor comes in and right out the gate falls on their face, yes, you're fired.
You know what part of my spite is? I'll tell you what the spite is. It's the sport, not Izzo. The sport, and again, not a college basketball topic, but specific to what I'm bringing up, players all get paid. I don't have to be nice to you. I don't have to care about you.
That's fair.
And I don't have to sit here and wait for you to perform because I know the reality is Rick Pitino landed in Jamaica, Queens and flipped 11 of the 12 players at St. John's, and they're probably going to the tournament. Now, no great shakes, not a great team. The point I'm making is what rebuild? MSU's already going to lose 12, 13 games. What rebuild? MSU's won one road game this year. One. That's obscene. So I would love to know from the people, whether it's any sport in your life, how much patience do you have for a legend approaching 70? And am I a bad fan? Because I'm largely out of it. It has nothing to do with the man. It's the product.
No, as a matter of fact, Mike, it's funny because the fact that you are this passionate about it, I think it shows that, like it or not, you're still in that foxhole. You still care. Like, for me, I've accepted this team for who they are.
And I think that's more stunning than me caring. You not caring is shocking because that program is near and dear to you, and you love hoops, and you love going, and you love being there live, and you go to the Moneyball thing. For you to tell me it's apathy, that should be more jarring to people in that program than me just being a horse's ass. Like, you to be apathetic, that's a problem, Rico.
I just accepted this team is only going to go so far. And people were like, but I think I was like, guys, once you accept the fact that best case scenario, they're a 7 seed in the tournament, or they could be an 11 seed or even in the play-in game again.
Oh, wow.
That's who they are.
Right. That's garbage.
They'll make the tournament, but it's not going to be great. And maybe you escape the first game. Only you get to play Kansas. Congratulations.
Here, let me help you with how that game goes.
Or yeah, you are 9 seed and you won against the 8, and now you're playing UConn.
You know, I don't have a drop for that. Tell them all about it, Rico.
Let's talk about the Chevy dealer in the area that's been leading the way. It's Hamilton Chevrolet in Warren. Hey, rev up and drive with unbeatable deals at Hamilton. Andrew and the sales staff, they want to be your Chevy dealer. It's time to hit the road in style. Hamilton is your go-to destination for top-notch vehicles and saving. Sleek and powerful cars ready to conquer the roads. And Hamilton Chevrolet they got them all. From fuel-efficient compacts to rugged SUVs. They've got the wheels to match your lifestyle. And with Hamilton, you know you're going to get the excellent service as well. It's not just about selling cars. It's about delivering an unmatched driving experience. That's a lot of fancy words to say, hey, they're more than just a dealership. It's about a commitment to quality and customer satisfaction. And right now, take advantage of the February Rico deal. A new 2024 Chevy Blazer LT for $269 a month for 24 months. Yeah, I said that right. $269 a month for 24 months. You walk in with $995 down. You drive away with 10,000 miles a year. The best deals are found at 14 Mile and Mound. You can stop in and see my guys at Hamilton Chevrolet. You tell them Rico sent you. You can visit their inventory at hamiltonchevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Hi there. The winter is here. I know not today it doesn't feel like it, but it's here. It'll be back. And if you've been injured as a result of an auto accident or a slip and fall during the winter months, only one attorney you need to call. It's just that simple. It's David Femininio. We've told you before, you're injured in Michigan, you need to call David, get David, and get paid. He can be reached anytime on his website, getdavidgetpaid.com, or call him directly at 855-65-CRASH. That's 855-65-CRASH. All right, to the people. How much patience should you have with a legend? Odyssey.com Rewind. We've covered the Pistons, did some Super Bowl stuff. Obviously, tomorrow and Friday will be football heavy. But Michigan State's program to me is it's in tatters. It's the Red Wings the late years. It's stale. It's boring. I don't like the assistant coach pool. The recruiting. Don't show me rankings. Show me players. I mean, did you see Cohen Carr dunk? Cohen Carr can't play basketball.
Cohen Carr can't shoot a jumper.
Can't shoot a jumper?
And that's the thing.
Can't handle it? Can't pass it?
He can drive to the basket. He can dunk. He can block shots. But they leave. When you have him out there with
Cooper,
Maddie or Cooper.
3-on-5.
It is.
You're basically the Pistons. 248-539-9797. So we're rapping about it. You don't have to care about MSU hoops. It's a sports question. How much patience and how much time do you afford a legend? Let's go to the people. Let's go to Ben, 97.1. Benny, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
Good. What's on your mind?
So, I'm right there with you. When it comes down to a legend, I'm a huge Michigan State nut, but, you can only last so long. And if you look at I go back to when Jaren Jackson and Nick Ward were on the team. And Izzo put them on the bench, and they lost to Syracuse. And I think with the new way, in this new day and age, with the transfer portal and everything like that, I just don't think Izzo is up to that grade yet. And I think it's time for, if you put any other name, like you mentioned, if you put any other name in that conversation, you're firing them. And, I don't want to go there right now, but, you put them in the talks with the Pistons right now, which is a whole nother grade. But, what more really have they done?
Listen, you don't have to convince me. All right, Ben, it's 4 years now of being irrelevant. It's 4 years where they are not a part of the national conversation. They don't win big games. They don't win the conference. They don't have NBA talent. And, look, the portal thing, it's a thing. Let me give you an example, all right? And again, Tom Izzo decided I'm going with my guys. Here are the elite portal players. So, obviously, Hunter Dickinson, number one. Max Amos, the kid who was at Oral Roberts, but he's now at Texas. He's a stud. He scored 25 a night. Caleb Love, he's a bit of a ding-dong, but he's good. Look, tell me if this guy would have helped MSU. A wing like Harrison Ingram, who went from Stanford to North Carolina, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, you go up and down this list, and it doesn't just have to be the stars. You can find players that can help you. Like, we don't have that. And it's because Tom refused it.
Right. That's what you need. Because with Tom, he's become extremely loyal to these players. So if you bring in transfer guy, Mike Valeni transfers in, you're not trying to hear, you're going to be on the bench and you're going to be backing up Malik Hall. Like, but Coach, what if I beat him in practice one-on-one? Do I have to back him up? Well, yeah, because he's been here for a while and he's a captain. Well, how about I go to another school? I don't want to do that.
I know. No, I know. Another.
Well, that's why I said it. If that's the case, go get somebody from a Group of 5 school or Division II.
That's what Tennessee did.
Who's just happy. Okay, you know what? I get a real facility. I get to fly on planes.
Forgive me. The kid's name is Dalton Connect.
Yes,
but he's from the Colorado School of Gems and Mining, and he's now going to be the SEC Player of the Year.
Yep.
All right. So you didn't use the portal. You didn't get better. Oh, yeah, MSU couldn't use a 6'6" wing that can put it on the deck and spot up and shoot and drop 20 a night in the SEC.
And he saw it firsthand in that exhibition game at the Breslin Center. Yeah.
Oh, they played them last year?
Oh, no, this year. At the beginning of the year.
Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah, Tennessee. It was the game where they didn't, everybody fouled out. The refs didn't keep stats, but, yeah, he lit them up.
Awesome. Uplifting. All right, let's go over to Eric, 97.1. What's up, Eric? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you?
Good. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so Mike, I'm right there with you, and same with you, Rico. I'm kind of at the point of apathy. So I was at the game last night, and watching the Michigan State bench, it almost seemed like Izzo's bum coaches were more energetic and involved in the game than he was. It almost seemed lackluster-ish beyond to the point of what he truly is, and it just wasn't him. Now, I'm not saying he's lost it. And maybe part of me is, and this goes to answer your question, Mike, on the patience level, maybe part of me is in denial that it is going this way, given that he is such a legend. And I don't want it to go to the point where I kind of felt with D'Antonio, where, hell, maybe if we do lose that streak, maybe, just maybe that'll get him to change the way he operates. Probably not. But
Eric, you know what?
I
think it would be just the opposite. I think it'll force him to double down and show I'm not going out this way. This does work.
Sorry. I mean, Rico, you're probably right. In fact, you're most certainly right. Just knowing how the guy operates, and I love the guy. And hell, I'm a happy alum. I'm a proud alum, and you said it. After he's gone, I'll happily contribute to the statue fund. Hopefully his statue looks better than Magic's. But 4 years is at this world of sports, 4 years is quite a long time, especially when you are a Hall of Fame coach and your Big Ten record over that span is basically 500.
Right. Like you just start to recognize if you change the name on the office, the person would be let go. So at what point do we get to have that conversation? I mean, D'Antonio didn't get that long.
No, not at all.
So
he got 2 years after that 2017 when they went out to the Holiday Bowl, and you thought, okay, 2016 was a blip on the radar. We're back. We're not back. We stink.
Decidedly not back. 248-539-9797. David, are we getting anything on ticket text on this? I can keep going with the calls.
We're getting a little bit here. We all love Izzo, but it is time to move on. Someone saying you can look at Bill Belichick for an example. He was bad. 4 years is all you get now. Tom Izzo needs to go. That is from Jim.
That's actually a good point because Belichick is, he was a legend. He did everything, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, Bill, you know what?
Part of what changed? Bill
Brady
assumed more power as the years went on to where Belichick was the entire football office. He was the GM. He was the head scout. Remember the famous thing, here's Bill Belichick scouting some kid from Middle Tennessee State in the rain. Mm-hmm. Well, the problem is he wasn't good at all those things, and the sport changed. Well, what has Tom Izzo been asked to do that he wasn't asked to do a decade ago? He's got to be an agent. He's got to be a scout.
Concierge.
He's got to do it all. Got to do it all. And the people around him, I think, are failing him. That's not a big-time staff. Okay, right here, right now. Mark Montgomery going to get a head coaching job this coaching cycle? No. Who's getting a head coaching job there? Doug Wojcik? Who? There's no big-time assistant there.
This cycle?
Nobody wants your people. So it is a total failing. And I'm sorry, but I Michigan State basketball to me is a blue blood program. Act like it. Well, part of acting like it is, Tom, here's the deal. You don't have to go anywhere. But you're going to wipe out your staff, and you're going to wipe out this roster. You've got all the money in the world. MSU is well-heeled at NIL for hoops. All right? I don't need to tell you the types of cars these players are driving. They got the cash. Go get me some players.
But let me read this one because it's not just a Tom Izzo topic. Someone, Derek in Brighton, is saying, when I started hating Joe Dumars after he was my favorite player as a kid, it killed me. But he had killed the franchise.
That's
and
right.
We had to let him
Do
go.
you? This is the one thing I want people to realize, because the college thing, people get emotional about Harbaugh, they get emotional about Izzo, etc. Joe Dumars guided this franchise to 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals, equivalent of the Final Four in college. Am I right? He was on heat check after 06-07. Heat check. The demands for him to be fired was a 2-year-long refrain. Joe Dumars won a championship here. Joe Dumars was Detroit. Joe Dumars built a championship team that should have won 2. I know today's the 20th anniversary of Rashid, Big Shot Bob. The point is, Joe Dumars wasn't afforded some endless runway.
No, he wasn't.
And I agree with you, Mike. Like, I always thought that LaVall Jordan should have been on this staff. He was a head coach. He would have been hungry.
He was a butler, right?
Yeah. And he would have wanted to get back to be a head coach again. He would have did everything possible, but he would have been a fresh pair of eyes. He would have been somebody that didn't know the MSU way and would have questioned things and would have said, what if we tried doing this different? Why not be so predictable all the time and let's mix things up?
No, instead he's doing TV for Fox.
So that was always a guy for me. And I know
By the way,
he was at Michigan, but yeah.
I don't care. Hey, shout out Peacock because nothing says Big Ten like Josh Pastner.
Jordan Cornette.
Right. Oh, what?
I had to explain to somebody who he was.
How about the broadcast last night? You know, MSU's got 4 legitimate bigs. I looked over at my
and they now announced all of them.
I looked over at my wife. I said, you could duct tape all 4 of these bigs together. You wouldn't have one legitimate big. These announcers just say whatever they want. They just make things up. 4 legitimate bigs.
Yeah, that was funny. I heard
all
that
right.
too. All right.
Hey, all
Tweet
right.
us up.
Super Bowl. It's FanDuel, #1 sports book. FanDuel has more ways to bet on the big game than anybody else. The same game parlays, prop bets, sides, totals, you name it, they got you covered. It's FanDuel.com/ticket. That's FanDuel.com/ticket. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NFL and 97.1 The Ticket. 21 and up, present Michigan, $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued, non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms, sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117. Now, Roberto, or shall I say Blackbeard, how come you haven't graced us with your presence?
Nope. I'm not doing this.
because I am taking over the Super Bowl by the numbers today.
Wait a minute. Where is the newly minted jet black Roberto Beauchene? Super Bowl by the numbers and hair dye.
The Blackbeard is taking a break today.
Sponsored by Just for Men.
I mean, like we wouldn't notice. My goodness.
Yeah, I noticed it last week. He thought
I
he was
did, but I thought it was like, okay, a little subtlety. Okay, but now it's
he
like
went Brian Wilson.
Right.
And I ain't talking about the Beach Boy. Go ahead.
So let's get into the game a little bit with these numbers. I'm going to give you a number. You don't have to guess it. I will just talk about it. First number will be 80 million. 80 million is the number that Jawan Taylor received in the offseason. Casey signed him for a 4-year, $80 million contract. Here's the problem for Casey.
He's taking the most penalties in football.
Taylor has allowed 5 sacks, 47 pressures, while committing 20 penalties, which is overwhelmingly.
And got away with about 17 more that weren't called week 1 against the Lions when he lined up offside.
The timing was off just a touch. But yeah,
by the numbers.
What's important about the number, of course, we talked about the penalties, but it's what Bosa has already done. We know he moves around on the line, but he's already set it up this week with the quote, the Chiefs tackles had a lot of penalties this year.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of holding, so he's setting it up for the game.
By the number.
You know what? And I did realize, I heard that. They are basically telling the referees, watch out for this. They cheat. They are offside. They hold. They're not that good, so please throw the flag. So I thought it was a good game.
Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
A little bit of, reffing in the media. Go ahead, David. By the number.
The next number is 27. 27 is
27.
Okay.
You
don't have to guess it.
I was about to say guys returning back to the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay.
The Chiefs' run defense ranks 27th in the NFL, while San Fran finished second in rushing efficiency. You should be happy as a 49er fan. That will help you in this game.
Listen, as far as the game goes, and Friday will be our, fun preview, everything points to the Niners except one thing.
Quarterback.
They got Michael Jordan over there. Mm-hmm. And you bet against Mahomes as a dog, you go broke. So, by the numbers, everything would suggest the Niners.
Right. It suggests to me that Christian McCaffrey is your Super Bowl MVP. Now, here's what I'll say. Even when they were down to the Lions, 17, they stuck to the game plan. They didn't abandon it. They didn't say, we're going to go out here and just play 7-on-7 football. They ran the ball, which tells me no matter what, they're going to keep running until McCaffrey finally pops one.
I am so glad, Mike, you mentioned Michael Jordan on the other side there for Kansas City, because the next number is 0. Patrick Mahomes hasn't had one turnover-worthy play in the playoffs.
So he's overdue.
Not that he hasn't turned the ball over, not a worthy play that could have been a turnover. Nothing in this game. Here's interesting, though, on the other side. The 49ers were tied for 5th in takeaways this season, tied for 1st in forcing interceptions. Something has to give, doesn't it?
Yes. The Niners takeaways, it's something because they don't blitz a lot.
Correct.
No, they bait you.
And they don't change up coverages a lot. They'll do some. But yet, it's their efficiency, and it is this turnover creation. And you're facing a quarterback who, he ain't going to do that.
Yeah. You think it's open, but it's not, and all of a sudden there's Greenlaw snatching it out the air.
Can I offer you something by the numbers? 5,984. Anybody know what 5,984 would mean? Let me just offer it.
Passing yards?
No, that is the distance between Tokyo and Las Vegas with which Taylor Swift will be flying to this game to see her boyfriend. And according to certain media reports today, not me, certain reports today, she may be asking the NFL to pay for that flight. You imagine you're a billionaire and you want a free flight, huh?
Isn't that how you become a billionaire? You don't pay for nothing.
I'm pretty sure it'd be selling about 1 billion records, but okay.
Because I guess she realizes, guys, if you just show me landing,
look what I've done for you.
People are going to watch that. If you show me getting into the limo, getting to the game, people will watch your pregame show because there will be a lot of folks, eyeballs glued. Oh my gosh, she's here. She's here. So, but I did see she wants people to stop tracking her flights.
She's not even that good. I just don't get it.
Oh my God, who said that?
I'm not mad about it.
That's
don't.
Kenobi Cott.
That's Kenobi Cott. He does not represent the rest of this show. Hey, what's the number 7 represent? By the numbers.
However many seconds it's going to take for someone to rip Kenny for what he just said.
Close. The amount of vials of Just for Men Roberto has injected into his face. By the numbers. David, more Super Bowl by the numbers, please.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
His beard looks like the dude from Star Trek.
Oh.
Look at that thing.
Jonathan Frakes.
Happy 21st birthday, Roberto. David, please.
Oh, my gosh.
By the numbers.
This is probably a strength on strength here. The number is 12 and 1. 12 represents Kansas City has blitzed the 12th highest in the league, and Purdy ranks number 1 in both EPA per pass play and success rate when it comes to being blitzed.
Oh,
strength
Rico.
on strength. Another one, what gives?
Yeah, I think he's thrown like 14 touchdowns when blitzed.
Correct.
By the number. Everything points to the Niners except Babe Ruth on the other side.
See, for me, you're right. I would just make sure you're double team Kelsey with your best corner. I'm not worried about any of the receivers.
You mean future Detroit Lion L'Jarius Sneed? By the numbers. David.
And I will finish it with this number because this may not look good for you, Rico.
What's the number?
15.6.
Average passing yards per play.
Nope. The Chiefs' defense has allowed just 15.6 points per game through 20 games this season. That's the lowest average for any Chiefs defense under Andy Reid since
The entire
2013.
Entire season.
All their games. You have a great offense here, but they seem to have a great defense.
Yeah, I mean, they jump ahead and they just squeeze you and they force you to go one-dimensional.
Also, quick update, Super Bowl. By the numbers, the number 1. That would be the amount of people trapped on top of the sphere right now because some idiot has climbed up on that thing and doesn't know how to get down.
How?
I don't know.
By the number.
I mean, the thought process to climb the sphere, 7 tubes of Just for Men in your beard.
Can't you just leave him up there?
No, you can't. He'll roast up there. He'll be like a rotisserie chicken.
You know,
it's getting hot, man. It's getting to the middle of the day. It will heat up very soon.
And that is the Super Bowl. By the numbers. Now, Roberto, or shall I say Blackbeard, how come you haven't graced us with your presence?
Nope. I'm not doing it.
because I am taking over the Super Bowl by the numbers today.
Wait a minute. Where is the newly minted jet black Roberto Beauchene? Super Bowl by the numbers and hair dye.
The black beard is taking a break today.
Sponsored by Just for Men.
I mean, like we wouldn't notice. My goodness.
Yeah, I noticed it last week. He thought
I
he was
did, but I thought it was like, okay, a little subtlety. Okay, but now it's
he
like
went Brian Wilson.
Right.
And I ain't talking about the Beach Boy. Go ahead.
So let's get into the game a little bit with these numbers. I'm going to give you a number. You don't have to guess it. I will just talk about it. First number will be 80 million. 80 million is the number that Jawan Taylor received in the offseason. Casey signed him for a 4-year, $80 million contract. Here's the problem for KC.
He's taking the most penalties in football.
Taylor has allowed 5 sacks, 47 pressures, while committing 20 penalties, which is overwhelmingly.
And got away with about 17 more that weren't called week 1 against the Lions when he lined up offside.
The timing was off just a touch, but yeah.
By the numbers.
What's important about the number, of course, we talked about the penalties, but it's what Bosa has already done. We know he moves around on the line, but he's already set it up this week with the quote, the Chiefs tackles had a lot of penalties this year.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of holding, so he's setting it up for the game.
By the number.
You know what? And I did realize, I heard that. They are basically telling the referees, watch out for this. They cheat. They are offside. They hold. They're not that good, so please throw the flag. So I thought it was good game.
Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
A little bit of, reffing in the media. Go ahead, David. By the number.
The next number is 27. 27 is
27.
Okay.
You
don't have to guess it.
I was about to say guys returning back to the Super Bowl?
No.
Okay.
The Chiefs' run defense ranks 27th in the NFL, while San Fran finished second in rushing efficiency. You should be happy as a 49er fan. That will help you in this game.
Listen, as far as the game goes, and Friday will be our, fun preview, everything points to the Niners except one thing.
Quarterback.
They got Michael Jordan over there. Mm-hmm. And you bet against Mahomes as a dog, you go broke. So, by the numbers, everything would suggest the Niners.
Right. It suggests to me that Christian McCaffrey is your Super Bowl MVP. You just Now, here's what I'll say. Even when they were down to the Lions, 17, they stuck to the game plan. They didn't abandon it. They didn't say, we're going to go out here and just play 7-on-7 football. They ran the ball, which tells me no matter what, they're going to keep running until McCaffrey finally pops one.
I am so glad, Mike, you mentioned Michael Jordan on the other side there for Kansas City, because the next number is 0. Patrick Mahomes hasn't had one turnover-worthy play in the playoffs.
Holy.
So he's overdue.
Not that he hasn't turned the ball over, not a worthy play that could have been a turnover. Nothing in this game. Here's interesting, though, on the other side. The 49ers were tied for 5th in takeaways this season, tied for 1st in forcing interceptions. Something has to give, doesn't it?
Yes. The Niners takeaways, it's something because they don't blitz a lot.
Correct.
No, they bait you.
And they don't change up coverages a lot. They'll do some. But yet, it's their efficiency, and it is this turnover creation. And you're facing a quarterback who, well, he ain't going to do that.
Yeah. You think it's open, but it's not, and all of a sudden there's Greenlaw snatching it out the air.
Can I offer you something by the numbers? Northville Lumber, oldest company in the state, largest. 5,984. Nobody stocks more. Anybody know what 5,984 would mean?
Product last year to cover 26 football fields.
Let me just offer it.
Reason they do it.
That is
yards. It's all
no.
in
That is
stock
the distance
all the time
between
Right in your
Tokyo and
warehouse
Las Vegas, with which Taylor
All you
Swift
need to
will
do,
be
whether
flying
you're
to
a
this
deck
game to
builder or
see her
do-it-yourselfer,
boyfriend.
You count on Northville.
And according to
Have what you
certain
need
media
at the
reports
price you
today,
need it.
not
No
me,
lead time, no wait
certain
time.
reports
Buy it,
today,
you get it.
she may
Get in
be
now
asking the
before
NFL to
spring
pay
rush
for that flight.
and the yearly price increases. All
Can
you
you imagine you're a billionaire and you want a free flight, huh?
Or go to Northville.
And now how you become a billionaire?
That's Northville.
You don't pay for nothing.
I'm pretty sure it'd be selling about 1 billion records, but okay.
Because I guess she realizes, guys, if you just show me landing,
look what I've done for you.
People are going to watch that. If you show me getting into the limo, getting to the game, people will watch your pregame show because there will be a lot of folks, eyeballs glued. Oh my gosh, she's here. She's here. So, but I did see she wants people to stop tracking her flights.
She's not even that good. I just don't get it.
Oh my God, who said that?
I'm not mad about it.
That's
That's
Kenobi Cott.
That's Kenobi Cott. He does not represent the rest of this show. Hey, what's the number 7 represent? By the numbers.
However many seconds it's going to take for someone to rip Kenny for what he just said.
Close. The amount of vials of Just for Men Roberto has injected into his face. By the numbers. David, more Super Bowl by the numbers, please.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
His beard looks like the dude from Star Trek.
Oh.
Look at that thing.
Jonathan Frakes.
Happy 21st birthday, Roberto. David, please.
Oh, my gosh.
By the numbers.
This is probably a strength on strength here. The number is 12 and 1. 12 represents Kansas City has blitzed the 12th highest in the league, and Purdy ranks number 1 in both EPA per pass play and success rate when it comes to being blitzed.
Oh,
Strength
Rico.
on strength. Another one, what gives?
Yeah, I think he's thrown like 14 touchdowns when blitzed.
Correct.
By the number. Everything points to the Niners except Babe Ruth on the other side.
See, for me, you're right. I would just make sure you're double team Kelsey with your best corner. I'm not worried about any of the receivers.
You mean future Detroit Lion, L'Jarius Sneed? By the numbers. David.
And I will finish it with this number because this may not look good for you, Rico.
What's the number?
15.6.
Average passing yards per play.
Nope. The Chiefs' defense has allowed just 15.6 points per game through 20 games this season. That's the lowest average for any Chiefs defense under Andy Reid since
The entire
2013.
Entire season.
All their games. You have a great offense here.
All right, David, a few of the ticket texts. I'm sorry I was late, people. Rieger was badgering me to give him several college basketball picks tonight. It's starting to tread a line for Mr. Rieger. David, what do you have?
Someone says it's not March yet. Leave Izzo alone. Okay.
Okay. Just a serious note.
MSU needs to hire Drew Valentine.
Oh, God. Rico's sending texts again.
Yeah, I recognize the number, just didn't.
Yeah, let's hire another coach who can't get his team to 50 points. Have you watched Loyola?
I have.
Then you know.
He's still building.
And they're going to lose to George Mason tonight.
He is
Keep
still
it going.
building.
Someone says, I love the Black History moment, wondering if DJ called in today to talk about it.
He did not. We honored DJ as a part of Black History Month, and he did not call the show. Amazing. I'm sure when we get the Super Bowl talk going on Friday, he'll call.
Or he just hates us because of it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Someone wants to get a picture of Roberto. They really want to see what his beard looks like.
Nope.
Just look at Ryan Day.
Yeah, it's bald Ryan Day. That's what we're working with currently.
Roberto's beard's looking like Billy Mays, they say.
Yeah, Billy Mays here. Do you know who Billy Mays is, Kenny? Okay.
I'm Roberto for OxyClean.
Rest in peace to the GOAT, Mr. Billy Mays.
Is Ryan Day working at the station now? Blackbeard Roberto, Scott and Carlton.
He is. And if Ryan Day doesn't beat Michigan this year, he'll probably be joining us at the ticket soon as well.
By the way, speaking of, did you see the announcement? Nick Saban will be on ESPN now, hired by them to be College Game Day analyst.
I guess. I just don't need it.
Wait, are they losing anybody?
Doesn't say yet. It just they announced him because they want to start using it for draft coverage right now.
I was about to say, is a certain person coming back?
Don't know yet.
Yeah, I got a few people we could classify as budget cuts.
Right. Bring back David Pollock. I'm in.
That was the wrong move.
Right. Getting rid of him? Wait, former athlete, one needs to go. The other actually brings content.
Right.
To the
Desmond
show.
collects a check, David Pollock unemployed. Huh?
Oh, Mike, you are right. I am also tired of hearing, well, Tom brought us a natty. That was over 20 years ago, people.
23 years ago. Who cares?
To put it in perspective, I think they're going to get Cleve's son in another year.
I'm done.
And it's possible that if his son wins, that was the last time not just Michigan State, but the entire Big Ten won the national title.
Well, blame big head Matt Painter for that. He's had a couple of teams good enough to do it. And
I don't know where he finds 7-footers, but he just does.
Canada.
And when he gets them, he doesn't let them leave.
No.
They're there for life.
How many teams have gone to the national title game from the Big Ten to erase Michigan State being the last one to win it?
Michigan twice.
Yeah, Indiana State with once. Mike Davis went one time.
Illinois.
Wow, good call by him.
Illinois went, yes. So that's
You've had chances.
MSU went back.
Well, that's right. They did.
The North Carolina
and then
game.
They got smoked by Carolina. That's
the team had 5 first-round
at
picks.
Ford's Field.
6, I believe.
6.
I believe there were 6.
You negative son of a bitch. You are not running a Hall of Famer out of town, damn it. I will stand in front of you on this.
How much patience should I have?
Honestly, for Tom Izzo, and I've always respected and enjoyed Tom Izzo.
Right.
Stop with the preamble. Just answer the question.
I think the runway is, I won't say endless, but it's pretty
2
long.
years. I said 2 years. Because in 2 years, I think he's 71. If it hasn't happened, he wants the second natty.
We all do.
Yeah, that's not going to
happen by then. I got to think.
Okay, at least say this then. Whatever he wants to go, he can go on his terms. I mean, it can't be 10 years.
Yeah, but
from
what
now.
are his terms? That's what I want.
I get so sick of this.
But see, but Wojo, I think that I'm speculating about 2 years because now he's got the grandchild and he's got different priorities in life.
Oh,
And he might be ready to. He might want to and be ready to go.
Basketball.
Rieger, not everybody hates their child.
But guys, you
I
know,
love my
my
child.
God.
What are you talking about? Take that back immediately. Dump that.
but you know who Wojo
Cat,
is.
stop it.
What?
You know you're
Who
a
am
star
I?
bleeper.
Oh,
He
yeah,
is.
that's true.
He is. Dude.
No.
So that's why you're saying it's about time.
Hey, Hatchet.
No,
Hatchet, you don't know this? Nobody knows this. But Wojo walked up to Miggy after his last game at
And said,
Comerica and begged him to come back another year.
No, I am a star bleeper because I really do think that's what makes sports interesting. Icons, legends, stars.
Who lose 13 games a year. All right, what's coming up on your show?
Okay, but a lot of them are really close. Like last night.
We're going to celebrate Tom Izzo.
Yeah?
We're going to talk about the Flintstones and some of his great teams.
Should, and out of respect for Tom, should he get a bye into the Final Four this year?
All right, you know what?
We got Paul Davis calling up at 6:30.
Well, I
Yeah,
told Mike.
I'm sure he'll be very verbose.
I told Mike that like he's going to get potentially a lot of the old players' kids coming up in the next
Great.
3-4
Our program
years.
is now reliant on former players' sperm.
Hey, listen,
Awesome.
No, you got
Guys,
Wilson,
it worked.
Cleaves, Torbert, and Andre Hudson.
It worked with Michigan. They went all the way to the national
Where's
title
Marcus
game.
Taylor,
with Hardaway's
Jr.?
kid.
Well, you know who's going to have a crap load of them?
Xavier Tillman.
His son.
Feel the whole team.
All right.
Well, by that time, Tillman's kid will be that second-round pick that Troy Weaver will get.
Oh, big trade. We're going to get into all the Pistons trades today.
God.
Whoa, were they wheeling and dealing?
Read something.
Woo-hoo.
We'll talk to everybody tomorrow.
Wow. Whoa.